This is a Miami Sports Music Podcast Network production. This is the #1 Miami fan morning show. Clock Blockers, let's go.
I know the whole city riding. A little early, it's a bit surprising. Business moves now with enterprising. Switch it up now.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? What is going on? Good morning to my Finlaws and my family. It is Clock Blockers, the #1 Miami fan morning show, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Got a little bit of a late start this morning, but we're here. We're ready to go. We're inside the lab, and it's about to go down. I'm your host, Stephen Daniels. You can follow me on all social media at Stephen D. SKPL. Spread kindness, positivity, and love. Thank you guys for following me. This show is presented by Tailgreeter. You guys want to go to a tailgate this year? East 32 Dolphins Tailgate is the place to go. Download the app today on your current Apple or Crapple, whatever you want to call it, or Android device today. Just make sure you guys do that and type in East 32 Dolphins Tailgate. You can also follow Miami Sports Music everywhere at Miami Sports Music, except on Twitter or X, whatever it's called now, at MIA Sports Music. Make sure on your way in, you hit that like button. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. Just tap it. Just take your phone. Seriously, just take your phone and just tap it. That's all you got to do. It's that easy, man. Just hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And make sure you hit that bell notification. That way you get notified anytime Miami Sports Music goes live. You get a new YouTube short. You get whatever, Solo D's new music, whatever it is, you get notified anytime something on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network drops. If you guys want to sign up to become a member today, there are plenty of seats waiting at the table for you. If you go into the description below, you'll see membership. Just hit that. There are different tiers. Make sure you all get up there. It's a big deal. If you want to help the channel grow by donating, a few different ways you can do that. You can use the YouTube Live Super Chat, which is the $sign below the bottom of the chat, and you guys can get on there. And there's plenty of different levels for you. And I would love for you to sign up to become part of the family today. If you guys want to be able to do that, you guys can also donate by using Cash App or PayPal. All right. Cash App is $sign MSM Podcast Network or MSM Podcast Network. You can use the QR codes that's on your screen. Want to give a big shout out to our sponsors of the show, ZSM Sports. ZSM Sports, the #1 place to get your cards, jerseys, balls, and hard-to-find items. Make sure you follow ZSM Sports today. Lime, less is more events, the #1 place to get your tickets for any event across the country. Make sure you give them a call at 202-930-3533. They have the best prices, less than the competition, allowing you to have more fun. Get a personalized quote and experience today with absolutely zero service fees. And last but not least, all these shows and everything we do here is presented by Tailgreeter. They are the best. Download the app today. All right, got a lot going on today. It is Spread Kindness Friday. You know, Spread Kindness Friday is my favorite day of the week. There's a lot we can do. There's a lot that we will do. But, you know, I'm running behind a little bit on time today, and I have a special guest in the studio today. You know, I usually have a co-host. Jason is just wrapping up some new stuff on his new project, Dolphins Weekly. If you guys aren't signed up for Dolphins Weekly, what are you waiting for? It's going to be such an amazing thing. So Jason will be joining us here momentarily. But in the meantime, let me bring on a guy who's had a show on this podcast network before with me, a guy who's been a close friend of mine for the last few years, a guy who's a #1 hitter in the YouTube community and in the South Florida sports community. My friend, he is the man, Mr. Miami Hurricane himself on Locked On Hurricanes, Mr. Alex Dotto.
Hey, Steven.
What's up, man?
I love you, and I love your channel, and I'm tired, man. It's been a long week already with this Jalen Ramsey stuff, and I'm gearing up for Miami Hurricanes fall camp coming up. So I can already see that I'm going to need to do a better job. Like once football season actually starts, I got to get more sleep. I got to stay more hydrated, because if I'm already hurting at the last week of July, come September, October, I'm in for some trouble.
You're in for some trouble. Real quick, I know you're a big movie guy and TV guy, just like me. I stayed up till like 1 a.m. watching the new Twisted Metal on Peacock.
Oh, how is that? I want to watch that.
Alex, First of all, I'm a video gamer back in the day. That PlayStation game.
Dude, I spent so many hours playing Twisted Metal. Are they going to make a new game now? Because they haven't made one since
They're
PS3,
releasing a new game. They're going to release a new game, and I'm so stoked about it.
Yeah.
But here's the best part about this show. It's got Anthony Mackie, the new Captain America.
Yeah.
And it's got Stephanie, the girl from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I can't think of her name, but
I never watched that. I'm aware of the show, but I never watched Brooklyn.
Alex, I'm so disappointed in you.
I don't know, man.
It's almost as disappointing as you not liking pineapple on pizza. But we're not going to get into that today because we know how you feel about that. First of all, how you been, man? What's going on? You're down in South Florida. You know, I'm up here up north, man. It's been crazy. How's everything going down there?
Good, man. Just been fighting off the heat. Been watching as much of the Dolphins news as I can, and obviously, I'm always watching all the Miami Hurricanes news. And this time of year, I know it's like the football off season, but
well, not now. Now we're in the swing of things.
Right. But when you follow the NFL, there's always stuff going on during the summer. But when you follow college football, if you're a recruiting head like I am, there's always stuff going down. So. And couple that with the fact that, summer, my kid's been home from school, going to day camp here and there, but he's been home a lot more. So I've got the crazy 5-year-old running around. It's been an interesting summer, to say the least.
Just wait till you have more of them, man.
Yeah.
Because, I'm just saying, when you have two, you got to do that full court press, and it's not one-on-one anymore, man. You got to start playing zone and stuff, man. Just saying. All right, let's dive into. Look, I know you're the Hurricane guy, but you're all of Miami sports music or Miami sports in South Florida, period. And, you've done a lot of stuff with the Dolphins stuff too. So Jalen Ramsey, this is the biggest news in South Florida since, I don't know what, last year when somebody got hurt, all these injury bugs that we had last year. So yesterday, Jalen Ramsey in practice hurt his knee, goes down, gets carted off the field, and Twitter has a meltdown. Dolphins Twitter has a meltdown yesterday. I don't know if you saw it.
Oh, yeah.
Let me tell you, it was absolutely asinine for like the next 90 minutes. Everybody was in meltdown. And to be fair, I was gut punched too. I'm like, God, we just got this guy who was our big offseason move. It sucks. But it's not the end of the world. So there's, conflicting reports out there. He's supposed to have meniscus surgery this morning. So it's all going to depend when they open up. Is it a full tear? Is it a full tear or is it a partial tear of the meniscus? If it's a partial tear of the meniscus, and depending on which way it's torn, it could be as little as six weeks to 8 weeks, which means he could be there for week 1, could be there for the home opener. But if it's a full tear of the meniscus, and depending on which way it's tore, again, he could be out till December. So we don't know. We're not going to know until, everything goes down this morning as far as the surgery. And then we obviously find out, later on in the day. What are your thoughts about Jalen Ramsey going down?
It sucks. I mean, obviously in this case, you have to prepare for the worst and hope for the best. And you laid it out there perfectly. It's going to depend on exactly what they find when they open him up. And that's happening today. It might even be happening right now. I don't know exactly what time. I think it probably is happening right now where they're starting that meniscus surgery. So first of all, I mean, if you want to count your blessings, the fact that it's a meniscus and there's no damage to the ACL, which is what the scan showed, that's obviously a huge relief.
Yes.
Because even the worst case scenario of a meniscus is not as bad as the best case scenario of an ACL tear. So you've got to be thankful right there that the recovery would be quicker. And there's a pretty good chance that Jalen Ramsey is going to play at some point this season. Now, this was, for as far as I'm concerned, the Miami Dolphins' biggest signing of the offseason. I know the Madden ratings agree with me, and I've been saying it for a couple of years. Jalen Ramsey, to me, is the best cover corner in the National Football League. So this is a gut punch.
Don't tell Xavier Howard that. He'll get mad, okay?
Right, but thankfully, Xavier Howard is still on the team. He's still going to be on the field. To me, okay, so Jalen Ramsey was the biggest player addition the Dolphins made. Maybe the biggest addition the Dolphins made, period, was Vic Fangio. And if there's anyone who's going to find a way to scheme around this and bring out the best in Miami's defense, Fangio can and Fangio will. So, losing the guy who's arguably the best corner in the NFL right after you signed him for, an indeterminate period of time, it's terrible. And I know that I'm not the first person to say this since yesterday, because a lot of people are throwing out the Dolphins are cursed, this and that. We can't have nice things. It certainly does feel that way, right? It certainly does feel that way. But as for right now, you still have one of the more explosive offenses in the league. Tua is still, at this point, healthy. He got through day one, even though Jalen Ramsey didn't.
Knock on wood, Alex, all right? Let's not jinx
Knock
it,
on
man.
wood. Knock on wood. He got through the first day healthy. So I still believe in this team. I still believe in what they're building. And until we find out more about exactly what Ramsey's going through with that meniscus, I'm going to be keeping my fingers crossed, Steven, and I'm hoping that at some point later today, we get the good news that it's going to be closer to 6 weeks than 6 months, right? That we're going to get some good news that we're going to see him at some points throughout this season.
Well, let me ask you another question, Alex. So, you've been a part of this fan base or seen this fan base for a decade now in the sports community. Them having a meltdown yesterday on social media, what did you take away from that? Because because a lot of people just felt like, oh, this is typical Dolphins. Of course, we give our hopes up. We're gonna win the Super Bowl. We're gonna be, and the rug is pulled out from under them. What was your reaction from the fans yesterday?
That I've seen it before. It reminds me a lot of, do you remember Ryan Tannehill's second knee injury, which was, it happened in a training camp practice. That was right before they signed Jay Cutler, which didn't exactly fix the problem. But
$10 million and a cigarette later.
When Tannehill had come back from a knee injury, and then he re-injured that same knee in practice. And because you always got like the beat writers who were out there blogging. I was covering practices in those days, but for some reason I wasn't at that one, so I didn't see that happen.
See, that's why he got hurt. If you were there, it never would have happened.
Exactly. So I should have been there yesterday. I wasn't there yesterday either.
Career could have had a different trajectory if you were there at training camp that day, Alex.
But, I get the notifications like Omar Kelly, Joe Shad, whoever else is out there. You start to see people talking about, and then the fan base reacts. So it reminds me a lot of that. But then the other part of it, Stephen, is people then start to overreact to what it means to get an injury in training camp. And folks, this stuff just happens, okay? Like, back in the 80s and 90s, they were running 2-a-days and 3-a-days. Now, They've tried to turn NFL training camp into the least threatening thing possible, where they limit the contact, they limit the amount of days you can wear pads, they limit the amount of minutes.
Back in the early 70s with Shula, I mean, they ran 4 days.
Yeah,
they ran 4 days.
So you start to see people overreact, what we need to make camp that should never happen in practice. We need to make these practices safer, and this, that, and the other. I don't know what else we can do. Like, if anything, you might have to start to wonder, maybe it was better when they were doing 2-a-days and 3-a-days, because their bodies were a little bit more grinded and conditioned to stuff like this.
There's the mindset of players from the 90s and early 2000s that believed that if they were still at 2-a-days, that there wouldn't be this. It's not considered an increase, but they would say there's no difference in the amount of injuries from what they did in the late 90s, early 2000s to today. As a matter of fact, it probably, some of the injuries that occur today are because maybe they're not pushing it as hard, or they're not going as hard. I've heard that theory.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's true, but there are definitely former NFL players that believe that.
Yeah, a lot of people think that, and Eddie, this wouldn't really apply to this situation, but a lot of people think that since they don't go nearly as hard in practice, then when they're actually in games, they're more susceptible to getting injured. That's obviously not what happened to Jalen Ramsey, but I have a lot of former players have said that you're going to see more of these injuries happening in games because guys aren't practicing hard enough and their bodies aren't prepared for it.
Now, let's go to the next man up mentality, right, Alex? Like, looking around, Cater Kahoo had such a big year last year, right? So now, he's going to probably get some more time in this defense under Fangio. And that's the other thing too, right? Vic Fangio's in here. He's trying to install a new defense. Everybody's having to learn. That's time now that Jalen's not going to be out on the field and, get that chemistry around the team. And so that's time that he's not going to get. So what happens now, especially with learning a new defensive scheme, learning new play calling, all this stuff. And by the way, having guys like Cam Smith, who's a rookie, Cater Kahoo, Trill Williams, who's coming off an injury last year, who everybody was hyped on. What is it about the secondary guys that are probably going to be able to fill in now that, or, get a chance to be the next man up?
I could see Darth Cater as being the next man up. And, he proved to me last year that this is a guy who was criminally underrated. And again, I think obviously there's the learning curve of adapting to the new scheme, but there's no defensive scheme in the NFL that's more proven than what Vic Fangio runs, right? I mean, he's had a top 10 defense wherever he goes, and that defensive backs seem to benefit from that greatly. So next man up, obviously the next man up, whoever it is, from Cater to Trill Williams to Cam, none of these guys are as good or as proven anywhere close to what Jalen Ramsey is. But let's not forget, you still have one of the best corners in the NFL still on the active roster in Xavier Howard. So this gives X-Man an opportunity as well to really step up and prove himself, right? Because, if he's playing this year opposite Jalen Ramsey, then a lot of people are going to say, oh, he's really benefiting from that partnership. He gets to go out there.
I wanted that. I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that too. But this is really an opportunity for X, who's 30 now, and he's trying to prove his worth in the the contract market as well out there. This gives him an opportunity to show he can still be the man, and he can still be a number one guy and one of the top number one guys in the NFL. So next man up mentality is right. I mean, there's really no other way you can look at this. And, obviously this puts more pressure and more onus on the front seven to really step up and terrorize opposing quarterbacks this year. Cause every link in that chain of the defense is going to count. So we're hoping, guys like Chubb, who has that history with Fangio, can benefit and have a big year. And, my guy from the U, Jalen Phillips, can build on the success that he started to create for himself last season. And let's get out there. Let's terrorize some quarterbacks. And let's hopefully the defensive secondary doesn't have to be as big of a factor because you're sacking quarterbacks left and right. Let's work on that.
Hey, you brought up, obviously being Locked On Canes. Guys, go check it out. One of the best actually the best podcast for Hurricanes coverage out there, as far as I'm concerned. Not one of, it's the best podcast. Let me ask you, Alex, what do you expect from excuse me, I keep on Phillips this year? What do you expect from JP this year? In my opinion, he's going to be that guy on defense that's going to have a humongous year. And we all know how Jason Taylor feels about him. What are your thoughts about Phillips this year and how he's going to be?
Yeah, I think so. One of the reasons why Jalen Phillips is so valuable, and this is also an X factor to see kind of how he's used this year, is because he's so much more versatile than the average, defensive end or edge rusher, right? That's one of the things why, even though, he and Greg Rousseau were in the same draft class, both coming out of Miami, very different players, because Rousseau more of a traditional end. Whereas Jalen Phillips, this guy can drop into coverage. He can do more things for you. He's extremely strong, his mental game, but then he's also a lethal pass rusher if you give that opportunity. So I think in Fangio's defense, there's a number of different ways you can use him. I think either way, he's going to get a lot of sacks, but I don't know if he's going to have like a 10 sack type of season or a 15, 16 sack type of season. So I'm curious to see how that plays out. But this guy's he's a smart, versatile football player, Jalen Phillips, and I can't wait to see how he blossoms.
He's going to be awesome
this next year. I think he's going to be awesome this year.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the offensive side of the ball for the Dolphins real quick. There's a lot to like about going into a second year with the same playbook, same play caller, same person in your ear, same running backs, same wide receivers, same everything. Consistency for the first time probably in Tua's career, in my opinion. Give me your thoughts about Tua and what he can accomplish this year.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'll get this out of the way. He's got to stay healthy, and he's doing everything he can to make sure that's the case. And we've all off season long, we've heard about the martial arts training he's going through. We've heard about what he's doing to get stronger, learning how to fall correctly and avoid contact. So he's doing what he can do. Obviously, big part of that is going to be the offensive line. Do the Dolphins have enough at right tackle? Can Teron Armstead, can he stay healthy at left tackle this year? Is the offensive line going to take a step forward? Because you can take all the jiu-jitsu classes you want to, but at the end of the day, if your O-line's not keeping you upright, there's only so much you can do as a quarterback. But with that out of the way, I had to get that out of the way. Tua Tagovailoa, he's going to be so dangerous, Steven, because not only the continuity, like you mentioned, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, you got your running backs back who, really started to catch wind at the latter part of last season. You got a lot of weapons for him to throw the football to, and he's going into his second year of this offense. This is something Mike McDaniel brought up before training camp started, that like for last year for Tua, learning this offense, it was like learning a second language. He's now fluent in that language. Like he is fluent. He has mastered that language. And I know Tua is one of the most dedicated, hardworking, football smart guys. He's been putting everything into really perfecting his craft this year, going into year 2 of the McDaniel offense. So the sky is certainly the limit there. And heck, last year we saw the difference between what the Dolphins offense could be when Tua's on the field versus when Tua's off the field. And I think we're going to take that to another level this year. And something that I'm expecting, man, I know Tyreek has already been talking about this. I look at the numbers that Hill put up last year. A lot of that when Tua was sidelined, this guy puts up, I think, 1,710 yards receiving last year. The NFL record for most receiving yards in a season from Calvin Johnson was 1964. I think if Tua stays healthy and Tyreek stays healthy, he's going to go over 2K this year, Steve. I mean, he was on track. He was on track for that, but then you had all those Bridgewater and Skylar Thompson games where the passing game wasn't so consistent last year. This year, that dude, Tyreek, is going to set that record. He's going to eclipse the 2,000-yard receiving mark.
I cannot agree with you more. It is hands down one of the best takes you've ever had. It's way better than your pineapple take. But I will say this, Alex. The Dolphins are going to go as far as Tua takes them, in my opinion, right? And, there's that's no knock on Mike White or Skylar Thompson, who I think are very capable backups and can come in and spot start. But if Tua misses a significant amount of time, I just don't see the Dolphins going deep into the playoffs. So for me, the Dolphins are going to go as far as Tua takes them. And the talent is there. It all depends on health, just like you said from the beginning. Let's kind of move a little bit into the free agency market with Dalvin Cook. I'm interested to know your take on the Dalvin Cook situation because – he visited the New York Jets yesterday. He's allegedly or supposedly going to be visiting the New England Patriots today. He was on Good Morning Football this morning on NFL Network, and the question was asked to him, do you still think the Dolphins is an opportunity? And he basically said, I still want to play for the Dolphins. I hope that that's still an opportunity, something there. But obviously he's being very, political, in a lot of his answers. I personally don't think he's going to end up being here, but I'm interested to know what you think about the Dalvin Cook situation and where you think he'll end up.
I think he's going to end up in New York, and I don't like that because it's going to give the Jets and Aaron Rodgers another weapon, and that's a team in your division. And it's going to be the AFC East, right? You brought up the Patriots, you brought up the Jets, the Dolphins, even the Bills.
His brother plays for the Bills.
His brother plays for the Bills, so they've kicked the tires on this. So this is the hard reality here is, I want Dalvin Cook. I don't think it's going to happen, but I want Dalvin Cook in Miami, not only because he's better than any of the other running backs on Miami's roster. He makes this team better. That's number one. But then number two is if you bring him to Miami, you would be keeping him from a direct rival. So it's not only addition by addition, it's also addition by subtraction because you're keeping him from going to a team that's trying to keep you from making the playoffs, right? So it will make a lot of sense.
Tweet yesterday on
no.
Twitter?
What was the tweet?
So before he flew up to New York, he said, I forget exactly what he said, but whatever it was him reposting a video of his 50-yard touchdown run on the Dolphins.
Oh, man. And he had enough of those against my Hurricanes as well.
Okay.
Yeah. And another reason why I want Dalvin Cook as a Dolphin because when he was at Florida State, he ripped my heart out so many times. I feel like he owes me something. Like I feel like he played against my college team. I feel like he needs to play for my pro team. But it feels like the stars are aligning for the Jets because we found out about the money that Aaron Rodgers gave up and how the cap hit of his contract decreases by about $7 million this coming year. And that's, the roughly $7 million that Dalvin Cook, wants to make this year minimum. So I don't know. It seems to me like the New York Jets have not only the desire to bring Dalvin Cook, but they also have the convenient cap space to get it done.
Now, one last thing about Dalvin, somebody kind of put this in the chat, and actually I'll bring it up because I think it's interesting theory. Dalvin is trying to put this from Bo Leg. Dalvin is trying to push for the Dolphins to sign with Miami, but stubborn Chris Greer is not paying attention. Is he saying this on Twitter and going to visit the Jets and going to visit the Patriots to entice the Dolphins for them to kind of, put the fire against them and say, if y'all don't sign me, I'm going to your rivals and I'm going to run the ball down your throat 2 games a year. So which one is it going to be?
I agree with Bo Leg. That thought has crossed my mind, man. That thought has definitely crossed my mind because from the second Dalvin Cook, left Minnesota, and he started to kind of throw out hints, hey, I'm a Miami guy, South Florida. He was throwing out pictures of him at Hard Rock Stadium. Like he kind of thought, okay, it seems like Miami is where he wants to be.
His agent came on our show.
Oh,
we had
really?
a whole conversation with him, and he didn't give us anything, but he did say, yeah, I'm going to have to make sure I have a bathing suit for that South Florida weather for the games I'll be attending this year. So
wow.
when he told me that,
wow.
And shout out to Jason Sarney. He was the reason he came onto the show. Couldn't have done it without Jason. I'm telling you right now, I was like, we're good. Like we're getting Dalvin. I was sold after that statement that we were getting Dalvin. And I beat my hand on the table and I said, this is what's going to happen. And then as time progressed on, okay, I guess we're not doing it. And then the Devon A. Chain, draft, who I'm very excited about.
Me
to
too.
Be fair.
Yeah.
But I just I don't think it's gonna happen, but I don't know. And I'm not confident any other way. And you're right. I don't want him to sign with the Jets. Not that I think the Jets are going to be. Here's the thing about the Jets, and correct me. If you disagree with me, let me know. The Jets were a 7-win team last year, right?
Yeah.
And you and I are big sports fans. In baseball, they have this stat called wins above replacement, the WAR, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I try to put that in football terms, and I think to myself, hey, look, if there was WAR in football, what would Aaron Rodgers' WAR number be? In my opinion, it would be 3. Mm-hmm. Having Aaron Rodgers on your team gives you at least 3 extra games a year, 3 extra wins per year on your roster. Okay. Him alone gives you 3 extra wins. So if the team is what it is pretty much now, by the way, the biggest differences between now and last year were Randall Cobb, an aging veteran at wide receiver, Alex Lazard, who struggled with Green Bay with him, Nathaniel Hackett, who Sean Payton ripped in the media yesterday, if you saw, said he's the worst coach in the NFL, who's the offensive coordinator now for the New York Jets. I don't see that. That puts them at 10 wins at best, Alex. Mm-hmm. I'm not scared of them, but I also know what Dalvin Cook can be, and I know what Aaron Rodgers can be when he's on. So I just wanted to throw. I don't know if you agree or disagree with me with that thought process.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think the variable is because it's hard to, and you took a great stab at it when you talked about the potential WAR stat and what Aaron Rodgers would add, but that to me it's a big X factor in a big gray area because on the one hand, I thought he had probably his worst year last year just based on the eye test. Like it started to look like Aaron Rodgers is he's hitting that age where the skills and consistency are going off a cliff a little bit. But then at the same time, I think he's motivated as hell, right? And sometimes, he's wanted to get out of Green Bay for a couple of years. It finally happened. He wants to stick it to Green Bay. He wants to start fresh in New York. We'll see how it ends up playing out. But I think on paper, he's going to have at least slightly better weapons in New York than he's had the last couple of years in Green Bay. So it's to me, it's a bigger X. Like I like for when Tua Tagovailoa is healthy, I have a pretty good idea of what he's going to give the Dolphins. I have less of an idea as to what a healthy Aaron Rodgers is going to give the Jets. So I think that's a massive X factor there. Like his WAR could end up being maybe adding only 1 win, or it could end up adding 5 wins if he comes out and looks like.
Do you like the WAR in football? Is that it's a different analogy for football, right?
I think it makes a lot of sense. It's probably harder to quantify in football than it is in baseball because baseball is so much more stat dependent. But I love the idea of it because we're constantly trying to figure stuff like this out. Like what's really the difference between Tua Tagovailoa or Mike White starting 17 games? That's probably around 5 wins in my opinion, something like that, right? So I think trying to figure that stuff out is important.
No, I I couldn't agree with you more. All right, let's move on from the Dolphins. We're going to come back to it after later on today, guys. Don't go anywhere, but let's talk one of the reasons that you're here, man. Locked On Canes, Miami Hurricanes football. Give us your take on what the Hurricanes are going to look like this year, man. And before you say that, let me tell you, I'm excited, right? Mario Cristobal being here, all the excitement, but I've been excited before over the last 5 years.
Yeah.
I've been excited about, when Diaz was here, Manny Diaz, and we know how that worked out, right? Was a little disappointed in last year's team. I want the Hurricanes to be that wrecking force in college football, and they're not right now, Alex. I need you to give me something to look forward to this year.
They're getting a lot bigger and a lot stronger at some important positions. They have turned over more than half of the roster, Steve, from last year. And it wasn't just guys who left and graduated and the handful of guys who got drafted in the NFL. A lot of the players who were on the team last year, for better or for worse, decided to leave, hit the transfer portal. Some of them were asked to leave. Others just decided to leave on their own. Miami brought in or bringing in the class of 2023, their true freshman class, the 7th ranked recruiting class in the country. Some of those guys are going to play immediately. Some of them won't. But as for guys who will play immediately, Miami's potential starting right tackle this year is an 18-year-old true freshman who is a monster. Francis Maui-Noa, Samoan from IMG Academy. This guy is up to, as an 18-year-old, 342 pounds, which is virtually no body fat. He has set I don't know how they measure this, but Mario Cristobal said that Francis set the program record for highest muscle mass on a body, and he's done that at 18 years old as a true freshman coming in.
Say his name one more time.
Francis Maui-Noa.
So you're telling all fans to have him on your radar for the next 3 years?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And then another guy on the other line of scrimmage I would have on your radar as an 18-year-old true freshman is Ruben Bain. A lot of your audience, I'm sure, knows a lot about him because he was a standout at Miami Central High School. He set the sack record at Miami Central last year, won all kinds of awards en route to their state championship and national championship. Ruben Bain is a guy who's going to play immediately, and I think he's going to get a lot of sacks this year. But then a lot of it, like, we can have some of the same conversations with the Hurricanes we just had about the Dolphins, because a lot of it is going to be how far can Tyler Van Dyke take them? TVD.
That was going to be my next question. What do you think about Van Dyke this year?
Well, listen, I think that they're kind of doing for Tyler what Mike McDaniel and Chris Grier started doing for Tua last year, and that's trying to surround him with more talent, right? They've made clear upgrades to the offensive line. They've found weapons for him. They got a 4-2, a wide receiver who runs a 4-2, and Tyler Harrell, who they got to transfer here from Alabama. They got a junior college wide receiver, Shamar Kirk, who was one of the standout JUCO players last year, who I think can definitely help. Running back room looks better. They got a really good transfer, AJ Allen from Nebraska. So they're trying to surround Tyler with more playmakers. We saw what he did 2 years ago before, taking a step back and having injury troubles as well last year. So that's a big one. Miami's got new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator, a lot of new position coaches. So, Steve, I think the biggest question here for Miami, and this is why, I'm hesitant to predict a crazy win total for them. I'm pretty conservative with how I think they're going to do this year, because when you have so many faces, when you've turned over more than half your roster, and you've turned over more than half of your assistant coaching staff, how everybody works together is going to be a big factor, right? Because the Hurricanes don't have a lot of continuity. That might be for the best, because, continuity is only a good thing if,
Are you okay
you
that
keep the good
Cristobal,
pieces
after
together.
1 year, said, hey, look, this isn't working. I'm just going to redo everything after 1 year. Are you okay with that?
I'm okay with it because, he made some mistakes and some poor hires last year. I don't think doubling down on those mistakes, if you made the wrong hires, I don't think two wrongs make a right. Because some people are like, look, he fired all those coaches, like not all of them, but he fired some of the coaches he brought in last year, like, oh, this is, bad leadership or whatever. But hold on. But if we can agree that Josh Gaddis was a pretty catastrophic offensive coordinator, and, some of the other assistants that they've parted ways with weren't doing the job last year, I can respect the fact that he made some mistakes last year He's trying to correct those mistakes. And, until proven otherwise, I believe in some of the new hires like Kevin Beard, who's been at Miami before and played at Miami, I think is an excellent wide receivers coach. Tim Harris Jr., an excellent running backs coach. I definitely think the defensive coordinator, Lance Guidry, who really overachieved with Marshall's defense last year. You saw what they did against Notre Dame. I think that guy is a rising star in college football. So until proven otherwise, I think he's made some really good hires this year. So I respect the fact that he's trying to correct last year's mistakes.
I got two more questions for you. One about University of Miami football, and then the rest about, the quarterbacks in the rest of college football to look out for, including my favorite, my man crush, Caleb Williams. But I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there. All right, let's talk about this schedule this year for the Miami Hurricanes. I am not as engrossed into college football from the Miami Hurricanes standpoint when it comes to, okay, is this team going to be good or is this team going to be great? Because there's so many teams in college football, right? And the landscape of college football is changing, right? SEC is changing how they're doing stuff. The ACC, the Big Ten. I mean, all of this is insane. But they're becoming what we all said 5 years ago. There'll be 5 power conferences and there'll be 16 teams in each conference. And we kind of knew that's probably where college football was heading. But from the schedule standpoint, this year they have Miami, Ohio, Texas A&M, Bethune-Cookman, Temple, Georgia Tech, North Carolina, Clemson, Virginia, NC State, Florida State, Louisville, Boston College. I'm going to be real with you, man. If we lose less than 3 games, I'm going to be pissed off because to me, that sounds like a really easy schedule. It sounds like a cake schedule. Or am I ignorant and not informed on some of these teams?
Yeah, I don't think it's a cake schedule. If you compare it to like an SEC West schedule or a Big Ten schedule, it's obviously, there's a ceiling on any ACC schedule. But I'll tell you, man, as far as ACC schedules go, Miami has in that conference one of probably the top 3 toughest schedules. Maybe you
they don't want to be competing in the AFC. We want them competing for the BCS, the national championship.
Sure. But I'm saying like that there's, at least probably 6 games on that schedule that are losable. I'm not saying they're going to lose 6 games, but there's 6 games on that schedule that are difficult. Texas A&M had a piss poor season last year. They won't this year. They're super talented, and I would bet Miami against the spread on this one. But the last I checked, the early odds have Texas A&M like close to a double-digit favorite in that game.
When I read it was 12.
There you go. So I would definitely bet Miami to cover that spread, and Miami probably should win that game at home. They played them on the road last year. They play A&M at home this year, but that's obviously a game you could lose. Clemson and Florida State are both games Miami should lose on paper. North Carolina, they've kicked Miami's butt for the last several years. They got Drake May still, and they've had Miami's number. NC State's not going to be an easy game. Those like five games right there are the ones that I look at to be the toughest on the schedule. And then even a team like Louisville, that's an X factor because they've underachieved in recent years, but that team is super talented. They recruit a lot of kids from South Florida, and Boston College, they've been one of the worst teams in the ACC in recent years, but Miami's got to go on the road there in November. And historically, that's always been a tough game when you go to that cold weather late in the year in Boston. So I don't know, man. I'm not trying to sound gloom and doom. I'm just saying I don't think it's an easy schedule by ACC standards.
Look, my wife went to Mississippi State. I love watching the SEC. I'm a huge SEC guy, just from a standpoint of watching and being entertained by football. So I'm like, when I look at the schedule, I'm saying to myself, if the Hurricanes are going to compete for a national championship, they need to run through the schedule. And I don't think they're there yet.
No,
and that's fair. That's okay. That's what it is. All right. Last question I have for you. And then I'm going to let you go because I know you got a lot of stuff to do today. I appreciate you coming on. Quarterbacks. Give me 5 quarterbacks in college football this year that are going to be up for the Heisman will be in the draft next year that will make a imprint in the draft?
Oh, that's a good question. So obviously the first name who checks off both of those boxes, I think he would have another year of eligibility, but there's no way he would hold off another year. That's Caleb Williams, who you mentioned. I think
I'm in love with the
top
guy.
quarterback in the country out of USC.
I think he's the greatest college prospect since Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
Yes, I think he's that good.
You know, I don't necessarily think he's going to be the best NFL quarterback, but a guy that I definitely look at in college, who's, you know, he's a dual threat who can burn you. Florida State's quarterback Jordan Travis had a really good year last year. He's got a lot of talent to throw the football
Heisman Trophy
to.
Canada.
Yeah, he's going to be in that Heisman mix, and one of Florida State's top receivers is 6'7", Johnny Wilson. So that's always a tough guy to contend with there. Let me see who else. Jaden Daniels from LSU. He's a fifth-year senior this year. I think LSU is going to be in the national championship picture this year. So that's going to be.
Did you just give us a hot take, Alex?
I don't even know if it's that. It's really, we're going to see, and obviously LSU, they got a gauntlet of a schedule being in that part of the SEC.
Hard
I don't think they're better than Georgia, but I think LSU is going to end up. Georgia and LSU, I think, are both going to be in the college football playoff this year. We'll have to see what LSU does to Florida State, because they play Florida State week 1. I think Florida State's pretty good, but I think LSU might blow them out.
Week 1 matchup, by the way.
Yeah. I think LSU might blow them out this year. Sam, watch out for Sam Hartman at Notre Dame. You know, he's been the last couple of years at Wake Forest, you know, which is what it is. It's not, you know, a massive football program. You know, he's going to have more resources over there at Notre Dame. And Hartman, I think, is a 5th or a 6th-year senior. So I think he's going to have a really good year there this year. And let me try to think of one more. Well, Drake May, I'll give that. I don't think he's even going to be draft eligible yet, so he may not check off the NFL box. But Drake May at North Carolina, I think this dude can put himself on the Heisman shortlist because he's got all the tools. So those are definitely
a lot of fun quarterback to watch in college football this year.
Yeah.
All right, man. Look, I want to let you go, dude. I love you.
I love you too.
You're the man. You're such a inspiration in this community and a pioneer in this community, and I love what you do. What do you got going on? Tell the people what you got going on, where they can find you.
Yeah, so we got a really fun episode coming up later today on Locked on Canes. I'm actually about to go and do some work for that one. It's going to be premiering at 12:30 on my YouTube channel. I'm going to be doing like a crossover with one of the most popular Miami Hurricanes YouTubers. You know him, you love him. Coach Coop is going to be joining me.
We know Coach Coop.
He's a great dude. I'm about to connect with him here in about 5 minutes, and we're going to be talking about our expectations for fall camp, because the Hurricanes, they open up their training camp on Tuesday. They got media day on Monday, first practice on Tuesday. So I'm going to be knee deep in football in the next couple of days.
I love it, man. Guys, go follow Alex Dono at Locked on Canes. You're the man, brother. I love you. We'll have you on again real soon when college football kicks off, man.
Love you too, man. Thank you so much, and thanks everybody for watching.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. It's Spread Kindness Friday. And that means I have a co-host that I do each and every Friday. He is one of my best friends. I love him. He's the man. He's the myth. He's the legend. He is the creator of the newly founded and amazing Dolphins Weekly that you just dropped another new issue, or at least I got an email from Dolphins Weekly in my email that my phone was going up while I was in the middle of the email saying, you got an email. Okay. It didn't say that, but you understand what I'm talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jason Sarday.
Good morning, Steven. Good morning, everybody. And yeah, we got some fun going on, man. We got
a lot of
weekends coming up.
Dude,
man.
How you been? What's going on, man?
I've been good.
You're working hard. First of all, you are working really hard in the community right now. You're doing really good stuff with this Dolphins Weekly. And I'm excited to see what the future holds for you. You've been on a couple of YouTube programs. You went toe-to-toe with Mr. Omar Kelly on Krantz's Corner. Shout out to Krantz. You're doing big stuff, man. You're
I
kind of a big
appreciate
deal.
it.
I don't know if you know this, but you're kind of a big deal, Jason.
Please stop it.
I'm just spreading some kindness to you on Spread Kindness Friday. That's all I'm doing.
I appreciate you. I appreciate everyone out there making me emotional already. Stop it.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man.
Coffee break for a second.
All right. A lot of stuff to get into today. Before we get into it, it's Spread Kindness Friday. We haven't really talked about what we're doing today, but each and every Friday, I'm going to let you pick today, Jason, actually. So while I'm doing this, you can pick what we're going to do. But that's what I was wanting to talk to you about today, but we were both so busy this morning. Each and every Friday, Miami Sports Music here on Clock Blockers, 50% of all donations that come into the channel, we give to a charity or a cause or something that's really important to one of us or the both of us. And so we've raised money in the past for a lot of different things. Last week we did the pancreatic cancer. We ended up raising $60 all together with them, which was great. You know, look, that's $60. It doesn't sound like a lot, but it's $60 more than what they had. So the goal is to raise enough money so that we can donate to a great cause. And the goal is to obviously raise as much as we can. So 50% of all donations go to a great charity or a great cause each and every Friday. If you have a charity that you'd like us to give to or a great cause that you'd like us to give to, DM at Jason_Sarney or DM me at Stephen D SKPL. We would love to be able to raise money for whatever cause or charity that you have or that's close to you or close to your heart, because we like to give back. That's what we like to do on Spread Kindness Friday. So Jason, what are we doing today on Spread Kindness Friday?
Oh boy, putting me on the spot.
I did put you on the spot.
I hate that. I'll tell you what. Okay. Maria Caraballo does a ton of work. I know she has things that she does.
Yep.
She's purchased cards. I'm going to see her hopefully this weekend and give her the cards that she won. I'm going to see her at the Zach Thomas Hall of Fame induction.
Your next 10 days is a little crazy, by the way.
Dude, it's nuts. Logistically, it's going to be a nightmare. I'm going to need anyone who sees me to maybe just have a cup of coffee ready for me or something. I might need energy. But, yeah, maybe something that Maria does. You know, if she's watching, if she could jump on in and give a little insight. She's definitely working hard in the next couple of days because she actually got tons of tickets. She is basically, you know, going to be like the beacon of the Dolphin Central in Canton. She's getting people there. You know, I'm under that umbrella, you know, so without Maria, I don't know that I go, you know, so thank you to her for organizing this. So we might have to do this in a back way, but if there's anything that we could do to help her out in her endeavors, that's where I would like it to focus on, because she works a ton behind the scenes for really everything and other charities as well. So shout out to Maria. Thank you. Looking forward to seeing you in the crew.
All right. So what are we raising money for? We're going to raise money for.
I mean, I'll DM her in the process if she's not watching, if she could jump on in and let us know what have you. But put a pin in it where I'm deferring my answer to her. So if she tells me put it here, we're putting it there. If she says there, we're going there. Okay.
All right. And I know she's done a lot of stuff in the past with DCC.
Oh, yeah.
She's worked with Allie and Dolph Freaky and stuff like that. And by the way, Allie's going to be on with me next week. I'm pretty excited about that. She's going to come on for a little bit next week. So be on the lookout for that.
I just shout out to Alex Dono. It kind of breaks my heart a little. I was a little late. Didn't get a chance to say hi to him.
I'm sorry, Jason.
It's my bad. It's my bad. Blame it on the dog. He was going a little nuts. I know you guys have heard him in the past.
You know, hey, let me ask you. It's 10:46 a.m. Look who's calling me. Why I'm live on the show.
I don't know. I can't see. My eyes are terrible.
Watch. Hold on. Hello?
Daniels.
Hey, you do realize I'm doing a live show right now and everybody in the world can hear you. You do know that I'm live. It's the morning time and I have a show on this channel called Miami Sports Music. Maybe you've heard of it.
Hold on. Do all the people that are listening know that you just asked me to call your ass back in 2 minutes?
That was literally an hour and a half ago, brother. That was an hour and a half ago, bro.
Oh, my goodness, bro.
Where's your sense of timing 2 minutes ago? I've been on, you know how that's a lie? Because I've just finished up a 40-minute conversation with Alex Dono. So it couldn't have been 2 minutes ago.
Since that, I didn't say 2 minutes, but
You said, Jason, did he not just say 2 minutes?
You think I'm getting into a fight with you and Solo?
I didn't say that was 2 minutes ago. I said I will call you in 2 minutes. You told me to call you. F all that. Good morning, everybody. See you.
Hey,
I love you, man. I'll talk to you later.
All right,
that's my dude right there.
You do know what I do on in the morning times, right, Solo? It's like he doesn't know. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me. All right, man. Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show. Clock Blockers right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. All right, let's talk about it. We got to get into it. It was a gut punch yesterday. I want to get your thoughts. Jalen Ramsey. Tell me what you think.
I mean, look, loaded bunch of thoughts. #1 thoughts are with him, hoping that this is the shortest process imaginable. I don't know what the process is until we all find out a little more clarity about the injury. Is it going to be what he kind of insinuated online yesterday on social media, that this end of season push could be epic, which tells me we're looking at maybe best case scenario based on that, the last 25% of the regular season. But I'm not guessing anything until we see what the doctors are literally saying. But reactionary as a fan, it's just a typical gut punch that has happened to this fan base. Unfortunately, I'm not going to list all the things that just have been unnecessary setbacks, but here's where I'm okay a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I have a little, I'm not okay. I'm upset, but here's where there's
the
solace.
silver lining for you in this.
The silver lining for me, and I've become, it's funny, I got a DM yesterday. Someone just said, within the community, I'm not going to just name drop here, I'm devastated. All right, back, you know what? I've become calloused to things like this. I'm hurt. I got a gut punch right now, but
it's so funny you said callous because that's such a typical Miami Dolphin fan.
Oh my God! I'm
used to it. Although Twitter, just like I asked Alex, Twitter went in a Dolphins Twitter went meltdown, like nuclear. It was bad. It was so bad.
It was bad to the point where I tried to have a nice, relaxing lunch whilst doing some errands yesterday. I was, wanted to get a little sandwich, wanted to just get a couple of things taken care of for my 2 trips coming up, Phone starts going nuts with notifications. The Jalen Ramsey news hits. I'm almost getting into accidents, It was bad. But what I beg people of is, let's not jump to conclusions one way or the other. Go ahead.
You ready for another gut punch?
Oh, no. Something just happened now?
So they had a press conference this morning, presser, before training camp. And so Mike McDaniel said Keon Crossan also has an injury.
I saw
that. And that he's not going to be practicing today, and they're going to look into it, and there'll be more details provided maybe later on today. Nick Needham's on the PUP list.
We're okay with that. We'll go into that in a bit.
You do realize that mean that the 4th on the depth chart? Do you know who's 4th on the depth chart right now?
It's no way, we're not talking about that right now.
Jalen Ramsey, that sucked. Keon Crossan, yeah. But to see Noah Igbenogany on 4th on the depth chart right now has me livid, Jason. Jason Sarney, I swear before Jesus, if Noah Igbenogany makes this damn football team, I'm going to lose my mind, Jason.
Let Jason take the wheel. Let Jason take the wheel here.
Usa. Okay, go ahead. I'm just calming down.
We didn't even cross over into August just yet. Just yet. Pads and helmets haven't come on yet. So now this goes back to where my silver lining is. And this goes back into that boxing match I had with our favorite beat writer. Opportunity. Who's going to answer the door? Now, it's not just next man up. It's become next man up. And it's become who's going to now take this. It's not just the bottom of the depth chart. It's a trickle-up effect, right? So we all know what Xavier Howard is, and I think he's coming in for a vengeance this year. Let's put that away. Now you have two guys who I'm looking on who's going to now battle for the opposite spot. Who's taking over for Jalen Ramsey? Is it Kader Kohu, who is now going to be continuing to build on this time last year? We didn't know who was a depth cornerback guy. And then Kader Kohu answered the door. You know, maybe he answers it again and becomes the absolute replacement for Jalen Ramsey, making Cam Smith, rookie, potentially taking over that slot position until we have Nick Needham come back. Then there's that rotation. And we also have Trill Williams battling now. So there's a number of players, including Noah Igbenogany, who are now going to be not just given another opportunity, but this is a massive importance of an opportunity. I mean, this is like literally the worst possible person that could have had this situation. I don't want to go into it, but to me, I'm excited for one guy in particular who could calm people down real quick. Who is it?
Cam Smith.
No, we already talked about Cam Smith. I talk about him in detail, but that's easy. That's the easy answer. He's a second-round draft pick. He was the first.
Trill Williams.
Damn right. Because Trill Williams was the guy that we had hopes for, but that we got heartbroken last year with injury. But Trill has been working his keister off. Mm-hmm. And we all know that. And that just goes beyond social media. That's just the dog in him, because he is a dog, right? When he's on the field, those Syracuse DBs, look at them. They're great players. I like him to come in and absorb the problem now that we might have as people move up with depth. Nick Needham, we discussed him for a second. He still has an opportunity. The funny thing is, every year Nick Needham has a different opportunity. Mm-hmm. And he has said, I'm not saying these words from Nick Needham, but Nick Needham is the type of guy who is an underdog. I consider myself an underdog. Mm-hmm. I love underdogs. I like when there are people who go through life, and most people in their life says, I don't think that you could do that. I think that there's this person better. I think that you're not good enough. He's heard that so much, even when he was cut as an undrafted free agent as a Dolphin. Then he made the team a couple of weeks later because he stuck around in the practice squad, lost some weight, trimmed himself up, got ready. He got burned as a rookie. Mm-hmm. We know that. He got destroyed on social media. Wasn't fair.
Nope.
Because he was an undrafted free agent who came on in during a 2019 year where he was a welcomed bit of talent on that roster. And then he comes back and he gets back in training and he realizes that he's actually a pretty darn good slot corner, because that's where they asked him to play. He converted to a slot. That was his other opportunity. You can't play the slot. You're an outside undrafted free agent. You're not going to, he hadn't given up a touchdown all year.
Can I just, I know you're, I just want
to do your thing.
I don't believe that this team is dead. I believe that we're going to be fine. All right.
Please, of course we are.
Look, the only thing I just went on about is that Noah's the number 4. That's what's got me rattled.
I'm trying to tell you that
number 4. If you watch the show, which all of you do on a consistent basis, you know how I feel about Noah. I got a lot of love for players, and I respect players, and I respect Noah. To be fair, I respect him as a man, but as a player for the Miami Dolphins, that man better not make this team. That's all I know, dude. That is all I know. About
Noah. Poor guy. I'll give him that, because dude gets ridiculed.
You feel totally I think you and I have had this conversation behind closed doors. You feel totally different about Noah than I do. You like Noah. You think there's an upside to Noah. You think, and I believe you've talked with Noah, and great guy.
I have not spoken with Noah.
Okay.
Let's put that right off the bat.
Okay. All right.
Noah is young enough and has the athleticism, and at least is a good enough football athlete, kind of ball of clay, where someone could fix it.
And you think Fangio's that guy?
No.
Okay.
I don't know that Fangio is the guy. I think that much like the underdog conversation that I just had, it's in a similar sense. Sometimes a fit, a community, a home, a job, a team might not be conducive to an individual's success. And if you take them out and you put them somewhere else, it might give them a better opportunity for success. I'm not saying they're going to succeed, but it might give them a better opportunity. What do I mean by that? Maybe a lousy secondary that does not have the loaded talent, even with an injury to Ramsey, that the Dolphins do. Because the Dolphins have the luxury to say that if everyone was healthy, 1 to 7, they have some phenomenal corners in terms of the talent.
I mean, you know how I feel. I think 1 through 10 they are, right? I think there's 10 or 11 people that can end up making the squad when it's all said and done. But to be fair to the situation at hand, right? Right now, and here's the hopium dealer in me, okay? He's number 4 today. Wait till Trey Williams starts balling in practice and see who becomes number 4. See, people are going to rise. People's players' stocks over the next 3 to 4 weeks. Some are going to rise. Some are going to plummet, just like the crypto market. Okay, like crypto. The crypto. You hear me, right? I'm talking about you. It's just like crypto market. Okay, it's going to fall. It's going to crash.
Here's the thing.
Noah's that stock, I think.
Here's the thing also.
Noah's like Dogecoin. Sorry, go ahead.
The Igbenogany situation has been its own kind of drama, and the luckiest moment of my life, and this was pure luck. Probably one of the greatest tweets I've ever sent in my life. The game before that Noah Pittsburgh Steeler interception, I just up and said, "Hey Noah, do something. This is your opportunity." People were asking me what the lottery numbers were. Trust me, I've tried. I do not know, but trust me.
Well, real quick. Here's the funny part. So my sister-in-law, who's a Steelers fan, and my wife, crypto Steven. He's a Bitcoin. No crypto. No, it's not a Bitcoin. Okay, let's just get that straight.
At one point,
Bitcoin
was getting people yachts at one point.
Okay, nobody no yacht, cuz. Okay, nobody ain't getting nobody no yachts. All right, now let me tell you something. That Pittsburgh game, we are sitting, I don't know, 13 or 14 rows up, maybe a little bit higher, maybe 17 at tops. We're at the end. It's me, my wife, and my sister-in-law, okay? And I have a whole bunch of people around me, and we're watching that game. I think Batman might have been there, and a couple of other people might have been watching that game with me. If you're watching this right now, I think there was a couple of other people that were watching with me. But when that happened, my wife, who always gives me crap for crapping on Noah, stop. That man plays in the NFL. Leave that man alone. And boy, she was like, see, he won you the game. Noah won you that game. And I said, and I swear up and down, I'll say it again, Noah was at the right place at the right time. That's all that was. It didn't matter who was in that game at that point. That's where that person was supposed to play. And anybody with a half a brain should have been able to jump up and get that interception. Matter of fact, he didn't have to jump. It was thrown to him. There wasn't no skill attached to that. Don't give me this crap that Noah saved the Pittsburgh game. He just happened to be the one that Mitchell Trubisky, was it Trubisky or was it the other guy, Kenny Pickett, who threw the interception? Whoever it was, that's all it was. Yes, I'm a hater when it comes to him. I don't care. Okay? Don't care. Don't care if you call me a hater about Noah. But I'll be damned, crypto, if you call him Bitcoin. That man is Dogecoin. Just get that straight. Okay, thank you.
You want a Bitcoin? I'm going to give you a Bitcoin right now. That's going to go hyperbolic soon. Is that the right term?
Yes.
Hyperbolic. I'm not a very big crypto guy. I didn't do very well in the NFT market.
Me neither.
But you know what market I do pretty well in? The UDFA market, folks. I'm going to give you one right now. I'm going to give you the guy that is this year's Cater Kohu, who was a couple of years ago as Nick Needham. Kedron Smith from Kentucky. Safety / cornerback. Played at Ole Miss, transferred to Kentucky. Dude's a dog. I have the scouting report from a former NFL cornerback who is now a current NFL draft analyst hopped into my DMs on LinkedIn, of all places. Corey Chavis from the
Yeah.
Corey Chavis was so impressed with the Keydron Smith signing for the Dolphins. So you know what I'm doing? I'm going to take a former NFL defensive backfield who was going to drafts as a draft analyst while he was a player. Go look it up. He does it right now. Chavis loves the draft, always has. This is a guy who you might want to
bring him on the show.
Motion. Try. Corey. Come on.
Come on. Come on.
But Corey Chavis, Keydron Smith, that's my guy. I'm going to give it to him who gave me the initial reason to do the research. If we're looking for Kader Kohu, look for Kentucky's Keydron Smith. The iteration's right there. It's just there. Kader Kohu, Kentucky's Keydron. It's perfect. Keydron Smith, that's my guy.
By the way, I'm getting killed in the chat.
Why?
For my Noah take.
Oh, I'm not even reading the chat.
Oh my God, they are killing me. They are killing me.
The right eye doesn't go to the chat anymore.
I don't care. I don't care about y'all and Noah and your Noah takes. All right, you don't Noah about nothing. Okay, you don't Noah. Okay, you don't Noah. Don't talk to me about. I want Noah problems. Okay, I don't want Noah problems.
I'll tell you what, it's unfortunate.
Y'all pick up what I'm putting down, right?
In like a weird way, in like a really weird, bizarro way.
Yes.
Isaiah Ford on offense, Noah Igbenogany on defense. They're very similar. They're names that have just become.
That is the most disrespectful thing that Isaiah Ford's ever been said to. You just disrespected Isaiah Ford.
Just disrespected the Billy Martin of the Dolphins.
That man has been picked up and released more than anybody I know in the NFL.
But my point is, it's like the name, when you hear that, it's like it's almost there's like a funny or weird or sad story behind it. You know, it's just like
it's all of the above. Funny,
right.
Sad, and true. Yeah.
Right.
Gabriel says, if you don't Noah, now you Noah, brother. Isaiah and Noah, biblical.
That's good. That's good.
All right, Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami Fan Morning Show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Bip-Bop says, we all had one less interception than Iggy or X. Facts. I had one less interception than Noah Igbenogany last year. Okay?
If we're throwing out fun stats like that, we're all tied for quarterback wins with Trent Green.
Facts.
I just don't love when he broadcasts off in games. To me, I think there's a snootiness to it.
By the way, speaking of which, Jason.
Snootiness? Speaking of snootiness?
Speaking of announcing games, did you see CBS's rundown for the first 3 weeks of who calls what games? I just need somebody to explain this to me. Just explain it to me. So CBS's #1 broadcast team is Jim Nantz and Tony Romo. Okay.
Wait, no. Harlem. Right?
They're the #1. They're their #1 team. Huh?
Harlem.
No.
Nantz.
Their #1 team at CBS is Jim Nantz and Tony Romo. Kevin Harlan is their #2 team.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Right? So explain to me why CBS finds it practical that they're 2 of their first 3 games of the year, Jim Nantz and Tony Romo, their #1 team, are calling Patriot games? Why? They are going to be one of the worst teams in the NFL this year. And you have your #1 team calling their games 2 of the first 3 weeks?
In all honesty, guys, the last couple of years.
No, Jason, no. Week 1 is Justin Herbert versus Tua. I'm glad Kevin Harlan's doing it. I like Kevin Harlan a hell of a lot more than Tony Romo. But I'll be damned the disrespect that, I mean, y'all get off of the Patriots nuts. They don't have Tom Brady, crybaby Brady no more. It's ridiculous. Just ridiculous. Get off the Patriots nuts, CBS. Sorry. I was bothered.
It's okay.
I was bothered.
I have not appreciated the broadcast call because of my situation and how I view football, whether it's thankfully live in one way, shape, or form, fan or up top, whether it's at a bar. I'm in Pennsylvania. It's been so rare that I can appreciate it.
I was at the Miami Miracle, okay? Miami Miracle game. I was at it, all right? The picture's there. You guys can't see it. It's on air sign. But I still have it in my mind of being there and hearing, wait for it, he didn't have the angle. Okay, that is still, I wasn't even there, and that's still, I still picture that. I hear that voice. I think it was Kevin Harlan's voice, actually.
That was Harlan. That was Harlan, yes.
And I was at the game. I didn't hear it at that time live. I heard it a million times afterwards when they replayed it on social media. And Gronk, he didn't have the angle. Love it.
Harlan's a goat. He's one of my favorite. And again, you know, I haven't had the appreciation of the broadcast game in like 4 years, you know, since I've kind of embarked on this. Maybe a game here, a national game, you know, I don't have that ear anymore. Frankly, it just hasn't been a big deal to me, you know, but
Milton,
I'm a Kevin Harlan guy. I love Kevin Harlan. Especially his basketball calls.
Yeah, dude, I love Kevin Harlan and who's TMT basketball NBA. Help me, come on. He did it for years. Got the scandal.
There's a couple of them.
Say it. Say their names.
On TNT. Yes. I mean, Mike Breen was an ESPN guy.
Mike Breen is ESPN.
I mean,
my
mind is like. I'm
drawing a blank. Yeah, mine is too. And I know the name because I love him. He's my favorite broadcaster for basketball. Not Kevin Harlan.
I cannot believe I'm actually drawing a blank on this.
I can picture his name. He does it with Reggie Miller all the time. God damn, I can't think of it.
It'll come. It'll come.
But Albert.
Marv Albert.
I
don't know what the heck I would think. Marv Albert.
You know what? We deserve that. We should know better. You and I both should know better.
Yes.
I'm disappointed in us that we forgot Marv Albert's name.
I might honestly
even if Jason knew better.
The last couple of weeks, please just pardon just anything. Just pardon anything. It's been a fun run and a busy one. But wow, we really went off the rail here. Let's get back on, man.
Okay.
Broadcast teams. Week 1. Herbert Tua.
So Dalvin Cook.
Right.
I'm going to change the subject. Got on Good Morning Football this morning, and basically was asked about if he still wants to play for Miami, and this is his answer. Quote: "I'm still weighing my options. This thing is not over. Playing for my hometown would mean so much for me, my community, my family. It's a Cinderella story. It's something that would bring so much joy to the city. I know what I can bring to the city. It would be big for the city and myself." End quote. Now, later on in that same interview, Kyle Brandt asked him, "What are the odds that you become a New York Jet?" And he says, very, very high. So my question to you is, you have a guy who's from South Florida, and I want you to talk about it from both cases. And you have a team that is trying to win a Super Bowl. Who do you feel for? I don't want to ask who you feel for more, but I guess you can show empathy on both sides. Coming at it from a human standpoint, right? It sounds like Dalvin he wants to be a Dolphin, but the Dolphins are saying, we're not paying you more than $4 million a year. You're just not going to do it. And so you either play for us for $4 million or you go play somewhere else. Are you okay with them being that kind of cold-hearted to him when he really wants to play and he's a hometown guy and he wants to come? Or are you of the point that, hey, look, man, this is a business. We got to win a Super Bowl. If you want to come, you can come here and play for $4 million and you'll get your dream, but we're not paying you more than that. And that's what it is. Whose side are you kind of like on in this? Just from a personal standpoint.
I'm on the team side. I have to be on the team side. Of course I'm on the team side. And I also try to think about the business side of things as much as I can. That's the room I want to be in. I don't want to be in a film room. That's not my comfort zone. Comfort zone is analyzing roster, seeing what the best things to do with the money, the cap, and making my assumptions or my reasonings based on that. I also have a lot of questions as opposed to answers with how the Cook camp has been handling this, because from my former life as a recruiter and just dealing with hiring, firing, contracts, deals, negotiations, offers, turn downs, I was always taught this phrase: time is always the enemy. Who is the enemy of that? Like, what does that mean? If you have an offer sitting in front of you, whether it's good, great, bad, whatever, a company could just say, enough's enough, we're pulling it, shit or get off the pot. Sorry.
I feel like that's where the Dolphins are at.
That's exactly where they're at. That's exactly where they're at. And I don't know how much the negotiation side of the camp of Cook's crew knows,
It's Hiller.
Chris Greer.
It's Zach Hiller.
I mentioned, no, I don't know. I know that. What I'm trying to say is I don't know how much they know in dealing with Chris Greer, just how little he cares about this kind of aspect of negotiation.
And that's business. That's not.
Let me give you some names. No, it's business, because Greer is going to say exactly what you said. Here's what we can pay. Here it is. Why is this all that we can pay? We're here trying to win a Super Bowl. So whilst you might think that you deserve Saquon Barkley money, we need 4 players that we have to give our money for, because we don't want to just win a Super Bowl this year. We want to defend it, Dalvin. So be a part of this for a year, do well, and then we'll talk next year about keeping you home. But we can't go above this. I'm not saying this happened at all. Cry on.
Well, Dalvin's been on record saying I never got an offer from the Dolphins.
You know what? It behooves him to say that.
By the way, I have said that on the show too, Jason. I said it behooves him to say that. It doesn't look good
for
him.
All right. Let me give you an example. I'm trying to get her a couple of years ago. I'm trying to get a controller a job, right? Controller has 2 options that they want. I'm working with one company. The other company, I have no stake in the game. I have no control over it. I get the offer for the other person at $100K, whatever. He's a little lukewarm to it. Wants 110, wants 120, right? Guess what happens if he makes public about the 100K offer? You know how much money he's getting from anyone else? Not much more, because that's the value. It's set there. So no one would announce the specifics of the dollar if it's not up to par. No one will say that this is what we got, we don't like it, because it's setting a bar.
Yeah, but
it's setting a certain bar.
The NFL circles are small, Jason. You and I know that firsthand. So the fact that he thinks to him by just denying it on a radio or a podcast show with Rich Eisen means absolutely nothing, because most of the GMs are friends, and most of them will call each other and say, what did you offer X person?
I mean, how it's all done, I don't know. But the fact of the matter is, Greer and the Dolphins, from all that we know, from anything that I've been told, I do believe that they gave.
And not even GMs being friends with each other, but GMs and their representatives, they all have multiple relations. Like there's always ways to get that information. So
of course. I mean, what I wanted was that base salary of around $4 million and a couple of mil worth of bonuses and incentives, what have you, to get to maybe 6, 7, and again, taking into the South Florida stuff, But he clearly, and this brings me back to the questions that I had. If he wants to be a Dolphin so bad, then why hasn't he taken that hometown discount? Also, if the Dolphins want him,
that's where I'm at with it.
Which I don't believe that they do. I don't believe the Dolphins need him.
I agree, but but to be fair, to your first statement there just a second ago, he was clearly emotional this morning talking about him wanting to play for the Dolphins.
Didn't sign the contract. Because right now,
They're going to play for $4 million, Jason.
You know what? Then don't go there and keep on saying, because it's clearly trying to get one team up. Greer has let, and what's happened to these running backs after the fact, I don't care. Prior, Greer has let Todd Gurley go, Melvin Gordon go, drafted potentially Javonte Williams, gone. Najee Harris, gone. All these running backs at a certain price point, whether it be signing, trading for, drafting, if he doesn't like the price point, he's not going to budge. There is one person, I'm not naming the person, but just that I can confirm Greer has gone up with, that I can know in the last 4 years. And I'm not necessarily saying anything other than he doesn't do it often. He has his line. It's got to take an act of God or someone close to it in that football meeting room to say, give him some more money.
Sounds like the chat's in love with you right now. The chat's like
I'm annoyed because I'm annoyed. Because as a
they agree with you. They're all like,
no. I'll tell you why I'm annoyed. Because laugh at me all you want from the analogy. I was in a profession that if you just got credit for getting an offer, I put in a bid to buy a football team. I'm joking, but my point is getting an offer is 1/10 of the battle. Yeah. You need to get that accepted. You need them to start. You need them to sign. You need them to go through the thing. My point is I tend to smell when things aren't very close anymore. And I tend to smell when things aren't working the proper way, because if both parties were that much in love with each other,
boy,
they are like,
talk to him, Sardi.
And I'm talking another situation. And I'll tell you, clip this all you want. Put it on. Because at this point, shit or get off the pot. You want to be a Dolphin, sign the contract. If not, go be a Jet. Because I don't care anymore. We got a backfield that is full of talent. All right? You want to go do something special at home? Take the discount, get some endorsements, and earn it for next year.
Facts.
And I'm done. Because I got a guy in Devon A-Chain that I'm ready to groom to be the next Dalvin Cook. And that's it. That's it.
Jason, you're on fire right now.
I'll leave right now and I'll get ready to get on my flight for Sunday morning. I am good to go right now because I've been wanting to say this, because I've been telling why it makes sense. And the Dolphins know it makes sense, but now it needs to make dollars and cents. And if you want to be part of a Super Bowl team, you just saw Jalen Ramsey go down. They need to work at other corners. They need to sign Christian Wilkins. They need to sign Connor Williams. What's $2 million to you when you can get in so many elsewhere and so many other places? There's 15 food chains. There's 15 food chains in South Florida that will give you the money right now. Right now. Do a golf event and raise $500,000 for you. We could do that in October, fan weekend. I'll help.
Amen.
You know what the problem is? The problem is it's too public. Everything is too public. A couple of years ago, free agents would go in, they'd go to a meeting. If they like it, they wouldn't let them leave. They wouldn't let them leave.
It just don't happen no more.
It doesn't happen anymore. You don't let the candidate leave without a sign.
Jason, calm down.
I'm sorry.
Just relax.
You went on yours last week. Now I'm on mine this week.
The table didn't do anything to you, Jason. Apologize to the table.
I'm sorry, but they've turned. I've wrote article after article on why Cook should be a Dolphin. I've defended it. I've loved the fact that we were in it, but now it's time to see where your head is really, truly at. Because Dolphins' head's not going to a Super Bowl. I don't care about 2,000 yards from Tyreek Hill. I care about winning and him helping.
Jason.
Right? I just want to win games. That's it. That's all I care about.
Hold on. AKA Salty Jason. Hey, I just changed your name, just so you know. AKA Salty Jason.
I usually get into very, very big problems when I'm dealing with salt and spices and seasoning.
Just saying. I saw you over there making with your video talking about, boy, you was over there in the kitchen cooking.
The whole reason I was doing that was a whole pun for Dalvin Cook, and it's basically given me nothing but actually it's been kind of good to me, actually, frankly. But whatever. I'm not angry. I'm tired. I'm not angry. I'm annoyed and tired. I just
Red Horse Adventures overcooked. LOL.
Speaking of opportunity, I mean, this is an opportunity for Raheem Morris and Jeff Wilson. This is an opportunity for all of them to say we don't need him.
Facts. Jason, man, I'm so damn proud of you, man. Well, you got everybody pumped. They all just literally took the last 5 minutes, recorded it on their phone, and when somebody asked them about Dalvin Cook, they're just gonna play your last 5 minutes. Here you go. This is how.
Oh, by the way, Dalvin, have you ever driven on the Jersey Turnpike to get to MetLife Stadium?
It's horrible.
It's horrible. Zach,
absolutely horrible.
Zach's from Suffolk.
You want to live in Long Island and deal with those New Yorkers?
It wouldn't be Long Island. It would be the suburbs of Jersey.
New Yorkers. I can't stand those Yankees and Mets fans.
Your best case scenario is
New Jersey smells.
Best case scenario is
Joel, Madison Square Garden. I'm just saying New York things. The Knicks.
Hoboken, Las Olas.
Dollar slice pizza.
I don't know. Just
how many New York things did we just say?
Yeah, Steven, I love you to death, but the New York accent, my friend.
It's bad? It's bad? It's bad?
Forget about it.
But just forget about it. Forget about it.
One word.
Billy Joel.
One word. It's not forget about it. Forget about it.
Forget about it.
There you go. It's one word.
Long Island.
That's not
sauce. Come on, that's a good New York accent. I'm disappointed in you, Jason, that you don't like my accent. I gotta go.
I like the voice of God broadcast voice. Like when you really turn it on, that's like the phenomenal.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to today's game here at MetLife Stadium, where the New York Jets take on the Miami Dolphins. Yes, that's what we're gonna be. Okay, you sound like you're from Boston. Rashad said. Nah, everything's wicked hot over in Boston. I'm going to go over to Harvard Yard and park the car over by Fenway Park.
One more thing I just want to get out there. Obviously, I'm very, very, very aware that Dalvin Cook is very, very good. I get that. But either you break a bank, the $2 or $3 million that might be the problem, to me, cornerback depth, putting money away from another, God forbid, and maybe being able to add a sprinkler to another piece that you might need. There's 3 or 4 people that you might need that's much more important than bringing in a running back to add to an already, let me use the right word. They're a viable running back by committee. They're viable.
Hey, real quick, this is a little excerpt from today's presser. Mike McDaniel and Jalen Ramsey.
What was the most amazing thing about the whole
stupid
thing?
Internet.
Was the way Jalen responded.
I hate when that happens. All right, never mind.
He spoke to the team.
Just keep it on the Twitter box.
What was the most amazing thing about the whole thing? Was the way Jalen responded. He spoke to the team yesterday, and it really moved a lot of people. He first let everybody know how much he appreciated this team, how this team has accepted him, and how he has been in the league for a little bit, and how he knows that what we're doing here, in his opinion, is special for his position group, not to waver, and exuded all the confidence they had in that position group. And one of the things that he said that was real cool for everybody was he thought it. He told all of his teammates not to worry, not to feel sorry for him. He's going to whatever timeline the doctors give him. He's going after that timeline and trying to flex that he beat it. And that he realistically couldn't be more committed and excited to join the team again this year, whenever that is.
Whenever that is.
Whether these guys go into these meetings with outlined bulleted points of what they want to communicate. McDaniels is very good at it, but there's the vagueness that just there's the uncertainty that worries me. Until then, I don't want to speculate. Again, I use the word calloused. I just say what you want about it. I realize the extent of the situation. I'm putting it in the back of my mind because what is it going to do? I mean, if we're all going to go gloom and doom and worry and obsess over when he's coming back, what are we talking here? Late November, late December next year? It doesn't do anything for us now other than just cross our fingers, say a prayer, and pray that the people step up accordingly. That's all I'm thinking about right now.
Hey, I want to give a big shout out
to Mike. He gets great. I
want to give a big shout out to Mike Ovila and Dolphins Talk because look at this. This is definitely the tweet of the day.
Oh, boy.
Dalvin Cook this morning to Chris Greer in Good Morning Football interview.
Wow. See, that's great because Mike's got
the serendipity scene. I love it.
That's great.
That is great.
I don't
Michael, good job.
There's not a generation
retweeting that. That's exactly how he sounded this morning, Jason. He's like,
it's like if you can't be the guy to have two people that you're asking to the prom and not make a decision, then go on public and say, I want to go with this one, maybe this one more, but this one you can't. I don't like it. I just didn't like the way it went. And it's not gonna. You ain't gonna take Saquon Barkley's $10 million.
Facts.
I got a headache. I got a headache now.
All right. Well, hey. So I can't play the. Here's what I'm gonna do. I can't play the. I can't show you the video, but I can play the sound. This is from Good Morning Football
and college ball in Florida. Everyone was connecting you to the Dolphins this offseason, even us. Mm-hmm. We understand there may have been an offer made to you, but maybe not quite what you were looking for. How much thought have you put into playing for your hometown team? And is playing in Miami still something you'd be interested in?
Yeah, I'm still weighing my options. This thing is not over. Playing in my hometown would mean so much for me, my community, for my family, for just everything around it. It's a Cinderella story. Like, it's just something that'll bring so much joy to the city. And I know what I can bring to the city. So it'll be big for the city and for myself.
You go with either one of those teams, you see your brother twice a year in the division. That must be really cool. Have you thought about that?
Giving my mom a heart attack, man.
Really? Oh no. She has to get the split jersey.
She be nervous as it be, just being out there. But it'd be fun, man. Just making him better, like pushing him, just talking that trash. So I'm 1-0 against him, so we good.
He knows that. That was the game last year. Oh my God.
He wants to come home, man. He wants to play for the city.
There's also a point where it's I don't want to say insulting. It's just the practice at this point has gotten, I think, a little not great.
What?
Just the campaigning already. We have all seen the running back market. I mean, if this market was like booming, like Christian Kirk wide receiver market, if people were just getting printed money, then great. But with all the factors, this is when you put all the factors together, the running back market, the monies that the Dolphins have to put everywhere else, including the homegrown, to keep this train going. The fact that there's, a Super Bowl to be won with a guy who wants to come home. All these things should not tell me that we're sitting here July 28th after people were really actually thinking that there could be a draft day trade. This has been the longest running back situation I've ever seen. I'm not at that level yet. I'm not at the Nicky, so I don't get like that. That's great for Nicky. I used to be like that. I
love it.
What's Nicky? Nicky's like what, 29, 28?
Oh my God. He's younger than that. I think he's like 24 or 23.
God bless him. I used to be like that.
Love Nicky.
Right now, I have a problematic back.
You know what's so funny about that? You're right. We all at one point or another have been there, bro. We've been there as Dolphin fans. Love Nicky.
But Dr. Cook, it's like if Greer is watching that, I'd pick up the phone jokingly and say, just come home, sign the deal. click. I mean, he's literally saying he wants to come home, but like you're dealing with a guy who's not going to move the car in the game of chicken. Yeah. It would shock me, especially if McDaniel happens to trickle up input or really be extremely happy with this current room. Because I think that there's a little bit more offensive communicative partnership there on offense now with McDaniel and Greer. And if McGreer is understanding that Mike is content with what he has, why are you going to take money out of what you need? You can't bite off your nose to spite your face. And that's what's going on right here. And listen, if Dalvin signs with the Dolphins at what is a tolerable deal, I'm the first one to say, go buy your Dalvin Cook jerseys. I'm the first one. I'm the first one to put out why it's so important that he's a goal line guy. He can catch out of the backfield. He can do what the Dolphins have not had in short yardage and close to the goal line touchdowns. I am aware of that. But I'm also aware of some of the things that we hadn't had consistently that we need to keep. And they have a core on both sides of the ball. And if the Chargers could spend $30 million for 4 different players, don't tell me the Dolphins can't sign Connor Williams, Christian Wilkins, get a couple of years worth of money in the future to take care of when they need to after their 5th years of Jalen Phillips and Jalen Waddle. It's all ready for sure. He's got 10 years out. The plan is not going to be screwed up for a depreciating running back in a market that's going worse than the depression on Black Friday in the 20s. It's just not happening.
Speaking of Black Friday, I will be at that game. I'm taking the train up and taking the train back all on the same day. All right, Miami Sports. I know, right? Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Hit the like button. Over 115 of y'all in the building right now. Hit the like button, guys. Just hit the like button, man. It helps. It goes such a long way. To helping the channel grow. And if you guys want to donate to the channel, you can use the YouTube live super chat and the Dollar Network. Just so you know, 50% of all donations today are going to go towards a charity of Maria's choice. Maria's in the Facebook chat.
Yes, she is. Maria, where is it? Wherever. We're going to start off good.
She's in the Facebook chat.
I know.
Facebook chat.
Perfect.
So
we got to get a destination for it.
Yeah. Yep. So we're definitely we're gonna raise some money for a great cause today. Maria does a lot of charities and a lot of different things. Jason's gonna get with her and it's going to be awesome. All right.
Nice if you want to do
why we're doing that. Love you guys. Gary's fundraiser.
Now it'll be
Gary Plytech.
Yes.
Yep.
Exactly.
Just passed away. All right, we're going to go towards his fundraiser. Got it. 50% of all donations today going towards Gary's fundraiser. Let's go. Donate to the channel. You help the channel grow, and you also get a chance to raise some money for an awesome cause. A wonderful, amazing man in Gary who was the mayor, a.k.a. the mayor. So shout out to the mayor. Love that man. Miss him. And Dolphin games will not be the same without him this year.
I have let me put up 2 cards so we can get people cooking and get some money raised. We're going to do a pair of Tua cards. We're going to do 2 Tua cards. These are numbered cards of this year's select set. These are, to me, they're exquisite cards in terms of just the value might not be huge, but I love the way they look. This is a select white prism, and it's numbered out of 35. So there are 35 of this particular card. It's a beautiful color match, aqua white background. It's number 22 out of 35. So 22 for Tua, 2 out of 35. And then it's the same card, but it's a tricolor numbered card. It's numbered 175 out of 249. So there are your 2. There are your
anyone that makes a donation, I will send a Gary Mayer shot glass.
Trying to get out of the.
There we go.
There we
go. All right, like it. All right, let's do that. Let's make that happen. So anybody who makes a donation, Maria will do that. So
started at 20, and then because that's
started at $20.
That's a fair value.
$20 is the first. We're starting the bid at 20, and it'll be total, right? So if somebody donates 20 and then the next person donates 21, if that person donates $2, we'll add that $2 to the 20. So it'll be total donations. Okay.
Yep.
Total accumulative donations. Shout out to Bob Young, $2. He just did one is the takeover tickets will be on sale. I should have that well, I don't know that information yet. I don't think they have it. As a matter of fact, I checked this weekend. They said that they're going to try to have something out in the next 2 weeks. I already talked to Igor and Michelle. Well, I reached out to Igor and it just hasn't happened yet, but they will have it soon. So just be on the lookout. Bob, as soon as I know, you'll know. I promise, man. All right. So $20 for the first donation. We'll get you a chance to win those 2 cards and a shot glass. That it'll be it's not a $20 donation. You get the cards. We're starting the bid at $20. Okay. Great cards, numbered cards. Awesome. To Gary shot glasses. It's going to be awesome.
And I'll put a surprise bonus card in there that I'm not going to tell you, but it'll be a fun surprise.
Awesome. All right. Next up, we're going to do for the last 25 minutes of the show today, we're going to do a new segment. Jason doesn't know about this yet, but we're going to do it. It's called Ask Jason. Hashtag Ask Jason.
Wow. I'm
Jason, a lot of people. Oh, there we go. Bob Young, $20 donation right there. There we go. There's one.
Bob's a goat. So, Bob, thank you for everything. I hope I put it in the mail last week.
With his $2 donation, he's actually at $22. So the winning bid right now is $22. Let's raise some money, y'all.
Bob's great. Bob, confirm if you got last week's package.
Real quick, we're gonna do hashtag Ask Jason segment. So I'm gonna drop the link. You come on, you get to ask Jason whatever question you want to ask him. And it's for Jason, because you've been the leader of the show today. Everybody loves you today, man. You were on fire today, Jason. I just dropped the link in the chat.
It's a good day. The Lakers didn't even beat the Supersonics.
Supersonics are coming back, baby.
I would love that as an old school.
Me too. I would too. Yeah. I would too.
Still got the dad jokes cooking.
Red Horse says boxers or briefs. LOL.
Briefs. That's a vaulted answer, my friend. I'm not answering. Vault.
Briefs or boxers? You'll never know, Red Horse. You'll never know. There are some things that are between me and my wife. Okay, that's all you need to know. That's it. Okay. All right. Hey, I'm moving. Well, I will. I'm thinking about moving. I got approved today for moving.
States? You're going to Mississippi, getting closer to the Gulf?
Mississippi. I wanted to go to South Florida. Too damn expensive to move down there. And for the same price of what I can buy, like a 2 or 3 bedroom condo 2 hours away from South Florida, north, like Port St. Lucie, a very bad condo there. There's like 4 or 5 condos that are decent, for the price. I can go and live in a really, really nice place in Mississippi. And my wife's family's all from Mississippi. So
beautiful.
That'll be happening between now and next summer. It could happen in the next 6 weeks. It could happen in the next 6 months, but I'll be in Mississippi by next summer, I think.
Definitely keep you posted on that. Good luck.
No more Maryland for me. Getting out of Maryland. I'm excited about it.
You down south?
I'm
progressively heading south. New York.
I want to move to Miami, but it's I'm not there yet. And it's expensive as hell.
Yeah.
So expensive.
That it is.
So, my wife going to Mississippi makes sense. My kids are 7 and 9, have a lot of cousins that live down there. So it'll be fun. It'll be good. Steven, moving timeline is the same as Ramsey's recovery. Please don't. I hope not.
No.
God, I hope not.
Boo. Funny, but boo. That was pretty funny.
I live in expensive South Florida, moved to Florida, not South Florida, but many other places. We've thought about that, but I would still, in some of the places that we were okay with, I don't think I would be like, it would be a lot easier to live in Mississippi and me get on a plane in Jackson and just fly to Miami the way I do here in Baltimore.
You should see me price crunching when I'm looking for flights. It is.
Oh, it's insane.
It's
So I don't know if I told you this. By the way, the link is pinned to the top of the chat if you guys want to come up here and ask Jason a question. Hashtag Ask Jason segment. By the way, right now the winning bid is $22 for the cards. 50% of all the donations today going towards the fundraiser for Gary Pytek, aka the mayor. Yeah, well, keep in mind hurricanes do go into that area as well. They do, but I'm not moving towards the water. I'm moving up. And even when the big hurricane that, took over, the big one that shut down New Orleans and the levees broke, the place where we're probably going to move to didn't get hit. Like it wasn't as bad for them. So it should be good. Mississippi. Mississippi. See, I know it.
There you go.
I know
it.
it.
The letter writing's nice and easy.
Look on the bright side. Mississippi will prepare you for the Miami Heat. Let's go. How do we increment bids on YouTube? It's $20, then $50. No. You can do $23 if you want to do $23 to beat his $22 bid. Donate $23. You can do it in increments of $1. So right now. Bob Young's got $20 between his 20 here or $22 and there's $2 here. So right now he's the winning bid. So if you want to bid above him, you got to get to 23. And then if he comes back with a couple more dollars, you just keep on adding to what you've got done. We're keeping track of everybody's total donations today. Newfoundland. You're in New Zealand, right? Newfoundland. He says airfare for me to Miami is $1,500. God. No, YouTube doesn't let me. PayPal. Yeah, go ahead and do PayPal. I'll put you in there. All right, I got a Cash App. Maria just sent me 50. There we go. Mudbone just sent me 25, but just so you know, Maria sent me 50. Hey. So does that mean Maria's got the winning bid of 50?
So far, right. So good. Yep, she's up there.
So Mudbone just donated 25, but for Batman. So right now, the winning bid is 50, but Mudbone for Batman has 25, which means only $26 beats Maria's bid of 50. Like it. Let's go, guys. Let's raise some money. So what's your next 10 days look like? Tell me what your next 10 days look like. Because you're doing
all right.
You're going to be in South Florida for training camp, and then you're going up to Canton for Zach Thomas.
If I had an odometer on my body, just tracking the mileage, I'd be curious. Because here we go. Here's the start. Tomorrow, going to the Catskill Mountains with my family to say what up to my folks and a whole lot of, extended family, friends, and kind of a reunion weekend. Having said that, I'm cutting it short at 3:00 in the morning on Sunday and driving to Newark Airport from the Catskill Mountains to catch a flight that will get me in at 9:45 on Sunday morning, hoping that I can get right into a car and get to practice at around 10:15. Flying into Fort Lauderdale, probably about 20 minutes until the stadium. So hope to be at practice at as close to the start as possible on Sunday. We'll be at practice Monday and Tuesday. Fly home. And then on Thursday, I'm starting the drive from my home in Pennsylvania to Canton, Ohio. So, I don't know. It'll be fun. Have your phone on. I might be calling you during that 6.5-hour drive.
That 6.5-hour drive?
It ain't bad. I'll get there in 5:50.
Where are you staying?
I'm Mark Cheesy, one of the best Twitter folks out there. He also is a great friend of mine. A couple of Airbnb folks have all collaborated. He got me there too. So I don't know where it is. I think it's in Akron. But
have you ever been to the Hall of Fame?
I've been just slightly past it, but didn't have time to stop when I drove to the draft 2 years ago. But no, I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to it.
Dude, I've been to the NFL Hall of Fame. It's so cool going there.
I got my JT Hall of Fame class undershirt here. I got.
When do you fly out? You fly out Sunday to go down south.
Technically, Sunday morning, 6 o'clock flight, 6:45 flight.
And when are you back up here?
Tuesday night.
And then you drive when?
Wednesday afternoon. No, morning.
Dude, your next 10 days are like ridiculous.
Dude, I don't know.
It's like football season is now started for you, just so you know.
Oh God, yeah. This is great. I'm very happy. I mean,
Allie's like actively trying to get me to come to training camp.
I will jump on that bandwagon. Get on, man. Please.
I would love
to see you there. I mean,
got a lot of stuff going on. All right, we got our first person in the back for hashtag Ask Jason. Mr. Negative, what's up, Mr. Negative?
How are you guys doing today?
How are you, man? Miss you, buddy. How you been?
I'm great. Yeah, no, I'm great. It's a beautiful day outside, and training camp's going, and football's almost here. So
a very positive outlook, Mr. Negative, and I like it.
Well, again, I just want us to be able to move on from all this Dalvin Cook nonsense. I mean, let him go to the Jets. Good. Go get your money. Go get your whatever. You know, it's all good. You know, we roll with what we got, and I think McDaniel said that today. You know, he's happy with the running back room. And it's unfortunate. Dalvin wants to be in Miami. Miami doesn't want Dalvin. So I think they're being.
Miami doesn't want Dalvin at Dalvin's prices. Miami wants Miami. Well, Miami wants Dalvin at Miami's prices.
Sometimes you got to pay, and you have to realize, you know, what do we want more? And if, you know, they're trying to go on the cheap, okay, that's fine. Cool. Go on the cheap and do what you got to do. But don't cry at the end of the day if Dalvin comes back to bite you and runs for 200, you know, on you later in the season. You know, you had your shot and you didn't take it. So this is what Chris Greer does. He's cheap with the running backs, and that's just is what it is. So he never pays for running backs. I don't know why fans are so surprised, but love what Jason came with today. You know, Jason's, you know, really cooking today. And I wanted to ask him about, you know, so we're hearing 6 to 8 weeks with Jalen Ramsey. Do you not see it being longer with having to, you know, shake the rust off, the rehab, everything else? I mean, he's not going to have any activity for 6 to 8 weeks. So, I mean, it's going to take time for him to get back. We've seen this with Byron last year, who didn't come back at all. We were told week one, and just never happened. So just curious to your thoughts, Jason.
Yeah, you know, it's a great question. I appreciate you coming on in, Mr. Negative, and I definitely, again, appreciate the positive outlook. I really, truly do.
I'm trying, Jason. It's really.
Hey,
I have 40 years of negativity to back myself with this, you know, loving this team. So it's really hard. I'm trying.
I'm with you. I understand that. I commend everyone who continues to stay on the ride here, but it's going to be more than that. I'm not a doctor. Let me just throw that out. I don't even play one on Twitter. I am not a doctor. I can't speculate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, let's wait for the experts to say what their timetables are. And then we could obviously discuss the rehab and all that and kind of hope to get a circle of a calendar that's tolerable. But as mentioned earlier, Mr. Negative, I'm looking for the silver lining positive. I am trying to absorb the hurt that it is with Jalen being injured to see who is going to opportunistically make it not that horrible. It's bad. It's not good. But let's see the level of it when the pads and the helmets come on. We have people beyond undrafted. We have people beyond the waiver wire scrap heap. We have talented players who could, if they need 13 to 15 games, whatever it is, I think that we could be okay. But the dominance factor of this potential secondary has gone south, clearly.
I'm good. We got no monogamy. I'm all good.
Oh, no.
He's no surprise. No, listen. I'm trying to be positive. We got to love all the Dolphin players.
Oh, I thought you were being sarcastic and just, that's fine.
No, listen. Noah had that big INT, won us the Pittsburgh game.
Hey, I don't believe this is the real Mr. Negative. You are too positive. Okay? I don't like this, man. I don't like this, Mr. Negative. I expect
I like it.
I'm trying, Steven. I see a listener there just said the dark cloud follows me around. That's not true. That is way overblown. The dark clouds do not follow me wherever I go. I'm trying to be positive, and you know what? I'll try it, and we'll see how it works out. You know, but again, you guys are awesome. Love listening to this show.
I love you, man. You're such a great listener. You know, you're such a great supporter of the show, Mr. Negative, and I love when you come on.
You guys take care.
Thank you, Mr. Negative. Have a great weekend. Fins up.
I love the listeners, man.
Hey, man, we're nothing without listeners. You can't
Absolutely
create content unless people absorb it, and we appreciate you all.
Give us a quick, show us the cards real quick. Give us, and I'll give us an update after you do that. What we're raising money and the cards, and then I'll give us an update on where we're at with the bids.
The cards we got. First, we got a white prism of this year's select set. It's a 22 out of 35 numbered card. So this white background and kind of, I guess, skinned card, you could say, the trim, there's only 35 of these particular cards, up to. And then in this regard, we have a tricolor, it's called, a tricolor prism select card that's numbered 175 out of 249. So there's only 249 of these particular two cards. And that's what the card game is these days.
And what are we raising money for today?
For Maria's charity of choice, which is right now Gary Pitek's foundation. And the mayor is hugely missed. And yeah, it's been a rough year with a lot of beautiful, amazing fans just passing away, and I don't like it at all. So we're raising money for that. And just so you know, so the bid started at $20. We're doing a cumulative total bids, which means the total amount of what you bid is what it'll be. So we started at 20. Bob Young got the party started with 20 and 22, really, and then we had Mudbone do 25 for Batman, and then Maria herself bid 50 on Cash App. And if you guys want to see it, just so you guys know I'm not lying to y'all, there's here. Might help if I'm on the big screen, huh? There we go. 50 from Maria. All right. So right now the winning bid is 50. 50% of all donations are going to go towards that cause for Gary, that Maria's running for Gary, which is great. And Maria also said anybody who bids, she's going to, if you get her the information, she'll send you a Gary shot glass. So, guys, come on. Let's go. Let's raise some money, man. It's for a great cause. All right, next person. Greg, what's up, Greg?
Cut my music! Cut my music! Let me talk to you.
I'm ready, Greg. Yell. I'm ready for you yelling, too. You go ahead and yell. I'm ready.
This team is cursed. What can go wrong will go wrong. This team is cursed. Stephen Ross, if you're listening, please build a new stadium or pick up the stadium and move it. I'll give you my bank account to move it. Mike McDaniel, if you're listening, please, for the rest of the summer, bubble wrap the entire team so we don't get hurt. Or do what they did in Ted Lasso and have everyone on the team bring a personal item, put him in a trash can, and burn that sucker, and then celebrate. And then all of a sudden, Jalen Ramsey will come from the tunnel running like Danny Rojas did. Fully healthy.
That was amazing.
Anything else? You got a question for us, or you just wanted to say that, Greg?
You could drop the mic.
Basically that, and what do we do now? I mean, I don't know what to expect now. Phillips, I'm hearing, is hurt now. Oh no!
Phillips isn't hurt.
Oh, okay. Then someone's lying to me.
Yeah,
don't put that into the world, Greg.
Jesus Christ!
Gosh, why would you do something like that, man?
Greg.
I
loved where you were going, but
yeah,
please, someone now have to.
Don't be that guy.
Someone confirm he's okay. Oh
yeah, he's good. No, I'm looking. I don't see anything up here.
Oh, thank God! I'm gonna have to go blast that guy on Twitter now.
You go blast that guy on Twitter and make sure you tag Jason and I so we can see you blasting that guy. Say, I went on Clock Blockers and made a fool of myself.
Yeah,
How dare you tell me negative stuff.
Well, anyway, all we have. I do have hope. I think some guys are going to step up, especially Cam Smith, Kader Kohu, and Noah Igbenogany is going to have a step up too. I think we'll be fine. I mean, we got the Samoan sniper with his sleeve tattoo, and the entire league better watch out. I think we'll be fine, and Jalen Ramsey is going to come back just in time for the push to the Super Bowl.
Oh no! Well, it's not an injury. Jalen Phillips got stepped on. It's just a sprained ankle, but he'll be okay.
I gotta say something.
So you don't have to blast the guy on Twitter.
Okay, it's okay.
But Joe Shad reported it.
This is football.
Yeah.
It's not bowling.
Although let me tell you, the very first tweet I see under it is end training camp now.
Exactly. Or bubble wrap the entire team.
Dolphins Twitter is going nuts over a tweaked ankle. We don't need training. Hold on, Jason. Just listen. I'm just going to go down the list. These are all tweets after Joe Shad's tweet ankle about Jalen Phillips. You ready? We don't need training camp. This is a joke, right? We're not even a week into training camp. Come on, man. Let's see. What else, man? 6 weeks or 6 months. We'll know soon. Yeah, man. End training camp. You said that about Xavier Howard last year, and we all saw how that ended one of his worst seasons ever. Thank you, Joe Shad, for tweeting this. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Dolphins fans are losing their mind.
I'm going to have to go tweet the entire team bubble wrap.
There was a time where, like, I mean, in training camp.
Said, what the hell is going on? End training camp now. Make final cuts today.
We're lost. As a society, we're lost. I mean, before this thing of social media made everything so easy for us to do what we did, do you have any clue what was going on prior to this at training camps, at practices, at 3-a-days, 2-a-days? People were popping their fingers back into placement just to go out to the next rep. It's a different time. It's just a different time, you know, so many different reasons. But the fact of the matter is, yeah, just cut training camp. I mean, you need training camp so this doesn't happen in season. You need to get these players' bodies up, their endurance up. I mean, it's a catch-22, sure.
ADG said, can we just do training camp on Madden?
That's fine.
Oh, no, just turn the injury setting off. We'll be fine.
It's very funny. Great. See, that's a drop mic moment. That's a Seinfeld leave on a high note if you may take my advice. That was phenomenal. You were great on this, though.
All right. Love you, Greg. Be good, man.
We'll be fine, ladies and gentlemen. People are going to step up. We'll be good. We're still winning that Super Bowl because that Lombardi has one name on it. What everybody's saying. Miami Dolphins, yeah.
Drop the mic. He dropped the mic.
That was good. That was good.
Cap for life. What's up, Cap?
Yes, Cap.
Hey, we created a monster, man. Freaking Greg. I love it, man.
I know, dude. Every time he gets on, I'm like, what is he going to yell about this time? I'm ready for it. I'm so, yeah.
Excellent appearance. Well done, Greg.
Yeah,
Excellent
man.
appearance.
What's up, bro?
But yeah, boys. Hey, good morning. Good morning, man. Yeah, just, yeah, man. It's kind of like eerie to the same situation last year around week, 15, 14. We were all doom and gloom. Yep. And yeah, man, we're going to have to do the same thing right now, man. Just everybody just, you know, it is what it is. But, I mean, our offense, our team, our whole general aspect and philosophy is predicated around the quarterback, not the cornerback. So we are good. Like, yeah, exactly. I love the secondary. Our secondary is stout, but that's not really what's going to make or break us. Like, all our chips is pretty much put in on Tua, and that's the one thing we need to focus on more. And I don't want to have all that pressure, but let's be real, bro. Like, we need to score points. Like, the defense cannot be our, you know, pretty much our break the glass, save our ass type of deal anymore. We've been doing it for decades. It's time for the offense to just start putting up more than 24 points a game. It's just now more than ever. So I don't know how you guys feel as far as like the depth aspect of things, but I think we can find some type of help in the secondary with like a Ronald Darby or Eli Apple. Like, we still have options. It's not, you know, doom and gloom.
Well said, Cap.
I agree. I couldn't agree with you more, Cap. 100%.
That was perfect.
There's nothing to even elaborate on it. You said it.
I did good, right? I did good.
You did good.
A+, Cap.
Shout out to you, Cap.
I did good, bro.
You, brother. Be good, man.
Hey, man. You guys be good. Take care.
All right,
you want Cap? Fins up.
Cap out here preaching. I like it.
Best appearance
that was like there was nothing else to say. Like, it was. Yep.
Cap's my dude. I like Cap.
Rashad. Where you at? What's
hey,
up,
Rashad?
buddy?
I'm going home.
I'm going home. I'm coming home. Tell
Just
the
got a
world that
haircut,
I'm going not home. What's up?
Nothing much. Cap hit the nail right on the hammer right
dude,
on the
Cap,
nail. Like,
Cap,
golly.
hey, you know what Cap didn't do today? Cap. He didn't
Yeah,
cap
that was
today.
Nice.
That was
So what I
Tank
did
of
there,
the
right, Jason? You like that?
I like that.
You were picking up what I was putting down. I like it.
Hit me right in the middle of that. Didn't go over. It got me right there.
Right there. Okay, good. All right.
that
Rashad,
was Tank of the day for
what
me.
can we do for you today here on the #1 Miami fan morning show, CLOCKBLOCKERS?
What you guys can do is just relax. Everybody relax. Everything's going to be okay. We're going to start off the season 8-0, 9-0. We're going to lose a game, and then we're going to get angry Ramsey. The revenge of Ramsey, the return of Ramsey's return, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be epic.
Ramsey's revenge.
Yeah. I'm working on something. I'm letting it breathe until I get a couple of workout tapes, a little bit of workout footage. I'm gonna put it all together. I'm gonna put it on TikTok so I can be TikTok famous.
There you go. You gotta get those.
Speaking of social media, just so everybody knows, I made my first thread. I did a thread. And I made my first one. I said, my first thread, hashtag Twitter who, hashtag am I cheating? That was my first thread post ever. Go follow me on thread on Threads. Is it Threads or Thread?
I'm holding out.
Stephen D SKPL.
I have no idea what that thing is.
You're sinking with the ship? Are you like you're like the
I'm the cellist.
Was playing
I'm the
as
cellist.
The ship was going down. Rashad, remember Kings of Comedy? The band was playing as the ship was going down. A black band, gonna play when the ship was going down. Cool in the Gang would have been unplugged and shit. You get out of here, dog.
This is true.
One of my favorite jokes on Kings of Comedy, right there. Yeah. No, man, I'm not going down with the ship. I had to. It's funny because Tamaris, awesome Tamaris, came on for like 5 minutes yesterday. And she's like, you gotta go get a Threads account. And I was like, fine, I'll go get one. If you told me to go get one, I'll go get one. So I'm on Threads now. I'm kind of a big deal.
I have no idea what that is. I'm gonna check it out.
It's the new Twitter. It's supposedly gonna be better than Twitter.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. I seen everybody tweeting that, saying follow me on this.
Follow me on Threads.
It's not like Twitter's gonna do anything stupid and change their name or anything to a
Playing
letter.
as the ship was going down.
Right.
All right. Anything else on flip floppers and toes and feet for you there, Rashad?
Nope. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna lay my hat on the offense.
Hey, Rashad, when I see you this year, I'm gonna be wearing flip flops.
No, that's okay. You shouldn't. You shouldn't. That's a horrible idea.
Hey, matter of fact, you know what I want to get you, Rashad? I want to get you a pair of flip flops.
I'll have socks on when I wear them. I promise.
Oh, no. Sound the alarm.
One of those.
Sound the alarm.
Rashad has a phobia of toes and feet. He doesn't like feet. It's weird. It's just weird. I love you, Rashad.
Yep.
I don't judge you at all.
Done with the feet talk. Y'all can
I love you, brother.
bring somebody else up.
All right. Maria!
Yes, Maria!
Hi, guys.
How we doing?
How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
Welcome to the show, finally. We tried to get you on, like last week, and then you dropped.
Yeah, I wound up losing service. I was driving.
You had that to a service. It just started dropping. Oh,
exactly.
I didn't do that. That was bad. I'm sorry. Bad jokes.
It's okay. Jason, I can't wait to see you in Canton in a couple of days.
I can't wait. I am so excited. I think I'm going to come on up Thursday to catch the game. I was originally coming up Friday, but you told me that our ticket includes the Thursday game, so I think I'm going to move up the schedule a little bit. I haven't told the family yet, though, so fingers crossed.
Well, they know now because they're watching.
Well, they know
they're watching. They know now.
Well, they know now. But
they know now.
Leaving a day early, he said he don't want to spend no time with y'all, family.
No.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's not it.
Sorry.
That's not it.
You're gonna start trouble.
I'm already in enough. It's whatever. But Maria, how you doing? Thanks so much for everything.
And then we have the meet and greet Friday night. We're gonna do a big pizza party.
Pizza party.
I cannot wait. This is going to be literally the best, like 10, 12 days. That's not like actual football, Dolphin, like real game action. I just can't wait. And again, Maria, thanks for organizing everything.
No worries. I'm looking very forward to us all being together. That's what's most important.
Community. I mean, you're one of the like I said, a beacon of the community. There's a lot of folks out there who really go above and beyond, and you're like a connective cog to the community. And it's not just in South Florida. I mean, you connect to California, to here in Pennsylvania, to New York, New Jersey. What is it like being, who you are in this community? I mean, you're
I'm just me.
Touch every state.
I'm just me that loves my team. I loves my team.
Keep doing what you're doing.
All there is to it. And I just
Maria.
love the family that we have.
The family with a PH. The family.
Enjoy.
Family.
Yeah, the family.
All right, Maria, you're great. I love you, girl. Can't wait to see you week 3. I'll see you week 3.
Love you.
Love you too.
Love you, Maria. Thanks so much. See you soon.
All
right, I'm gonna let her go just because she was
connectivity issues.
It was that too a cell service. It was just drop. I'm sorry. Bad joke again.
It's all right. It's okay. You're good.
Oh man. All right, Canes 1989. It looks like you might be the last one. What's up, Canes? Unless somebody else comes in here real quick. Canes,
hey guys,
only Lewis will come
how
in
you
for
doing?
2 seconds. What's up? How you doing? How you doing?
I could be better.
It could be worse. Okay? You're breathing.
That's an honest answer.
Hey,
you're on this side of the dirt, my guy. You're good. What's
hey,
up?
I'll put it like this. Hey, I'll put it like this. Any day that we can wake up is a good day.
Yes,
Amen to that, brother.
Yes,
Amen.
sir.
Now, not everybody believes that, and that's a problem.
You make a good point there, but I'm with you there. 1,000%.
Says the only good thing on social media is Miami sports music clock blockers.
Amen. Amen.
I'm not going to argue with you, Dolphin State of Mind. Those are facts.
Not going to argue that.
I'm not going to argue that. True
and
that.
I'll leave you guys with this. Hopefully one day, as Dolphins and Canes fans will have one season or several seasons without getting stress and gray hair.
Dolphins fans,
Never
and
happened.
Canes fans can sit together and be proud of their football teams
and not have gray hair.
Hey, look, I'm sure when Martin Luther King was talking about his dream, he was definitely talking about Dolphins fans and Hurricanes fans. I'm sure he was. I'm sure it was. No, Jason said no. You sure?
Y'all have a good weekend. I'm out.
You, brother. Be good, man. Be good.
Thank you, Kane.
That might have been a bad joke, but I don't care. It was funny to me.
It's okay. We're dads. We got the dad jokes.
You got the help. Oh. All right. CB83 or Lewis, I'm going to give you a couple seconds to get up here, and I'm going to give you like 2 or 3 dad jokes before I get out of here.
I knew that was coming. I'm not.
Yep, you shouldn't have said it. Shouldn't have said it.
Walked right into that, didn't I?
Walked right into that one, my guy. 200. The TodayShow.com 221. I don't know why they got that number. Best dad jokes to tickle your family's funny bone.
Oh boy.
I don't know how I feel about that title.
Oh, weird.
I don't know if I want anybody tickling my funny bone. Pause. Funny jokes for all ages.
We're starting off the joke segment. Great.
When does Friday? Hold on. I need Okay. All right. You ready? Here we go. I just needed to make sure I had the right one. When does Friday come before Thursday?
When?
In the dictionary. Bam! Dad joke. Let's go.
Let's turn the page on this segment, man.
No, we got 2 more. Two more. Guys, donate to the channel. 50% of all donations going towards a great cause today. Let's see
what we got. You got to come back bigger than that.
Ready? Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Summer wasn't too bad either.
Not nice delivery. I'll give you the delivery was
Delivery.
okay.
It's all about the delivery.
Yeah, you had a good one-liner. It was like I was
all about the delivery. All right,
like
dad joke. All right, let me find a really good dad joke. Give me a second. Let me find a good dad joke.
You're moving the dial up. You're going up.
Corny dad jokes. Okay, I'm going to give you a couple of corny dad jokes. You ready?
I'm really nervous that now these are being classified as corny dad jokes. Then, like the other two were just
the other ones weren't.
The other ones were just dad jokes.
Mudbone. $55 donation right now. Mudbone's leading.
Wow.
Right now, actually, Mudbone's leading. No, Mudbone is leading with 75. No, it'll be $80.
Oh.
Yep, he did a $25 one earlier and a $55 one, and he said, "This is for Batman." Kaboom! Guess who stepped in the room for Batman 2423? Shout out to Batman.
Okay,
Batman. Look at Mudbone, Batman, out here swinging them bats for you, cuz.
I like it. I like it.
So he's at $80 right now. The winning bid's at $80.
Ooh.
Can we get 100? Can we get 100?
I'll tell you what. If we get to 100, I'll throw in another bonus card. Another bonus card.
Okay, another bonus card.
That's all.
Don't say. Remember last time we had that? There was a lot of drama.
No,
with
no. I'm not.
All right, hold on. All right, here we go, Dad. All right, Lewis, what's up, man?
What's going on, fellas?
It's Kindness Friday, Lewis.
Well, I don't know how much kindness I can spread, Stevie.
Hey, hold on. You ready? Hey, you ready? You ready, Lewis?
I'm ready.
What should you do if you meet a giant?
I don't know.
Use big words. What? Dad joke. Dad joke.
That was horrible.
That was so good. The delivery was great. I loved it.
The delivery was okay, but the content was, let's just go to Lou. How are you, Lewis?
I'm good, Jason. How are you, gentlemen?
I'm as good as I can be with the news, but I will tell you, I'm doing okay. I'm doing good.
Well, I'm the same way, but I heard you guys speaking about it earlier, and a guy that, I'm on Twitter a lot, people were going crazy. They were losing their minds yesterday, right? And it's just funny to me how a guy like Josh Boyer last year as our DC had numerous injuries up and down that defense. Nobody once wanted to give Josh Boyer a pass. Now we go get one of the greatest defense. Hold on, Steven. This is my point.
Go ahead.
Now we go get one of the greatest defensive minds this game has ever seen in Vic Fangio. We have one injury to a player that has never played a down for us in a Dolphin uniform, and now the sky is falling. I'm sorry. If I wasn't able to give Josh Boyer a pass, I'm damn sure not giving this defense a pass because one little injury to Jalen Ramsey. Now, am I sad that he's not going to play? Probably the beginning. Do I wish him a speedy recovery? Absolutely. But the people that are losing their freaking mind thinking that the season is over, like, let's pump the brakes, bro. Because in my opinion, and all I've heard, the biggest pickup this offseason, Jason and Steven, was not Jalen Ramsey. It was one Vic Fangio. And as far as I'm concerned, he's not.
That last sentence, I'll give you a clap on. I agree with that. The biggest pickup. But just so you know, I've been saying that take for like 2.5 months. So you just took my take. That's all you just did. You just stole my take, Lewis. That's fine.
Well, whatever. I just made it sound better.
No, Lewis, you make a great point. You really make a great point. To go back to the Boyer thing, halfway through your comment, that's where I figured out where you were going, and I agree with you. Boyer, his strength, I believe, was recognizing talent, how to use it on field, play calling, and all that other stuff. That's where it went away.
Right.
But what Vic Fangio has is the whole package. I mean, he's proven it. Every defense that he has turns out to be essentially a top 10 defense. He is a godfather type of a coach in this league. It's almost like it's coming a couple of years full circle. A couple of years ago, I was praying that we got a guy by the name of similar to Dick LeBeau. A guy who's been in the league for so long is one of those guys that could just come on in, and if he says X, the whole team believes him, no matter what it is. And I believe that is our version. When he was with the Steelers, that's when they were, just winning a couple Super Bowls, I believe. So I think that Fangio is our Dick LeBeau, the guy who just has all that experience, who comes on in as an assistant and is basically a head coach in the room. Great.
Absolutely. And that's all I had, man. I just wanted to stop freaking out. We still got, and if this wasn't a morning show, I would say his real name, but we got Big D Vic in the building. You know what I'm saying?
D. I mean, technically, Dick is, you could say his name.
Well, we got Big Dick Vic walking around the building. So as long as we got Big Dick Vic in the building.
Pause.
Hey,
Pause.
We're good.
No.
And I appreciate you fellas. And I will be listening. Y'all had a great show.
Hey, Lewis, hold on. Lewis, I got one more for you. You ready?
I don't think so, but go ahead.
You ready? Why can't the sailor learn the alphabet?
Tell me.
Because he kept getting lost at sea. Bam! Come on, man. That's a good dad joke. I like it, man. I like it. Lewis, I love you.
I love you guys both, man. Y'all be easy. Jason, congratulations on your new endeavors, bro.
Thank you,
Good
Lewis.
work.
I appreciate you. Thank you, sir. You have a terrific
Steven,
weekend.
I will see you Monday, Steven.
Yes, you will. Lewis will be on with me on Victory Mondays for the rest of the season. Shout out to Lewis. You'll be on you will be on the screen in a home studio, right?
I will this Monday. So
yes.
Excited for that.
All good.
Love you, brother. Be good.
Later, gentlemen.
Later, Lou. Thank you.
He's an all right guy. He's an all right guy.
I mean, listen,
all right, so we got a couple of people in the back. We're going to let them come on, but real quick, one more time, because I want to try to raise as much money as I can. So show the people the cards, and we'll let people know what it is. Show the people the cards, Jason.
I'm getting there.
Jason, show them the cards.
I'm getting there.
All right, they're Tua numbered cards, special edition. What numbers are they?
The one on over here is numbered 175 to 249, and this is 22 out of 35. I mean, when people pull,
that's a beautiful card.
Yeah, when people pull this card with like the background that is called the white prism, it's a big deal.
Right now, it's a cumulative total of the donations. So Bob Young started us off at $22. Okay, then Mudbone came in at 25. Then Maria came in at 50 on Cash App. And then Mudbone stepped in and said, kaboom, guess who stepped in the room with a $55 donation? So his 55 along with his 25, do that math, that's $80. So right now the winning bid is at $80, which means that Maria is going to be sending him a shot glass. And at least one extra card will be thrown in. But if somebody gets us to triple digits, my man here said that he's going to throw in another special card. He's not going to tell us what it is, but it'll be a really good card.
What I'm going to do is I said there was going to be a bonus card regardless. So there's a third card right now. If we get the triple, I'm not going to name the fourth card, but I will bump up the third to put a little good juju out there. A little Jalen Ramsey card, not in a Dolphin uniform. This is an awesome, it's called a die cut card.
I told you.
It's just an awesome card.
I don't want people to get upset. There we go.
But it's not upset. It's a good juju. It's like a
okay.
Let's do something. I don't know. All
right. So you can donate on Cash App, PayPal, or YouTube. The links are in the description for Cash App and PayPal. All right. MCJB, what's up, man?
Hey, good morning, or afternoon now. How are y'all?
How are you, my friend? What can we do for you today there, my guy?
I got a joke. I got a dad joke.
I'm ready for it. I'm ready.
Where do dogs park their cars?
In the bark?
Close. You're very close. In the barking lot.
Yard.
I'm a dad, dude. I got these things.
That was my
I like it.
That was my grandpa's favorite joke.
It was a grandpa joke.
It was a grandpa joke. It wasn't even a dad joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
What y'all doing today?
We're chilling, man. We're just having a good time on Spread Kindness Friday, raising some money for a great cause.
There you go.
And
rest in peace, Gary.
The mayor. Rest in peace, the mayor.
The mayor.
We're just enjoying today. Today's a good day. Today's a great day.
It is a good day. Well, I just wanted to come by and say hello, Steven. Hey, Jason.
Well, you know what, MCJB, hello, and peace be with you, and
yes,
with
sir.
you,
and a fins up to you, MCJB.
and a very fins up to you. I love you, MCJB. Be good, man.
Take care.
Thank you, sir.
And then
good. It's a good call.
You like the
day. I like the energy. I love the energy. This show.
It's Spread Kindness Friday, man.
Like last week was different.
Yeah.
It was fun.
But it was Salty Steven.
But it was
then
different.
we got a little bit of Salty Jason today. And then we're just ending with welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Masters. Crypto. What's up, man? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call Hot Dog Man.
Not Hot Dog Man. Stop it.
No. Hot Dog Man. What's up, buddy? How are you?
What's going on, Steven? What's going on, Jason? I was going to start with my particular joke.
Oh, you got a joke? Because I was about to tell you a joke.
Yeah, I was going to start with one. You ready?
Start with one. Yep, I'm ready.
Hey, Steven, I bought some shoes from a drug dealer. I don't know what they was laced with, but I was tripping all day.
I like it. I think it's good. I don't know if it's a appropriate dad joke, but I like it. I do like it. All right, you ready? I got one for you, and then I'll let you talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Jason, like, what the hell?
All right, hold on. Here we go.
I just love the day. I love the energy.
How do celebrities keep cool?
How do they keep cool?
Yes.
Good one.
Cool?
How do a celebrity keep cool? Go ahead. You got me on that one.
They have many fans.
God.
I thought it was good. I'm just telling you.
Not bad.
I thought it was good.
For dad jokes.
What do you want to talk about today, Crypto?
I'm just saying, Greg came on this morning with the fire, man. I think we are cursed, man. We I don't know. Maybe we need to reconsider relocating the stadium to another town. It's crazy. Man, we so snake bitten. No matter who we get or who we pick up in the off season, is they end up that person or somebody else end up getting hurt. I don't know, man. This is just a snake bitten franchise. I don't know. What did we do wrong? What did we do wrong? I mean,
you know what's funny? You say that. It's funny you say that, and I joke around, and I hope this is the worst take that I've ever said in my life. They became perfect. After that, I feel like there's almost like they sold the souls to be perfect, and after that, we've gotten a taste of Marino. Couldn't win one. We got 37 quarterbacks before Tua, no playoff win. Bullygate. Ryan Tannehill goes down with an injury. This stuff, it's just all this stuff, you know. But
Tannehill's came right before the season started. Right after a playoff run.
I remembered. I was in my office, and all of a sudden the news came. I was on Facebook back in the day, and I wasn't on Twitter for that. And it was like non-contact injury. That's it. It's unbelievable. Right. Yeah, I believe that there is some sort of a weird aspect of the
real quick.
It's like being stuck in a bad horror movie where you just keep waking up in a dream, but you realize you're still dreaming.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But I will say this, Crypto, you're right. And you make it's a very good comparable, but if there ever was a year where they could overcome these things, and I'm trying to not be that blatant hopium dealer like Steven.
Hey, but you can only be one hopium dealer.
You're the hopium dealer.
Don't be getting on my turf, man.
You're
about to have a hope. You don't want that war.
Okay? I do not want that.
I'm from Baltimore, home of the Wire, baby.
Exactly. But I think that if there's ever a year where they can overcome these things, like 2, 3, 4 years ago, with the talent not at the level it was, when you have someone go down that's as good as Ramsey, it could destroy your whole unit. But they have people who could absorb this a bit now. So let's see.
All right. Hey, so
right.
All right, let me give you all a couple of news and notes for today, coming off of Twitter. Daniel Yafusi said today was a good day for the young Cam Smith and Kader Kahu. A lot of would-be sacks were the result of coverage sacks. Omar Kelly tweeting, we had a dozen sacks today. Dolphins defense was talking mad shit all practice. Offense never responded. Kyle Crabb said the rest of the Dolphins defense would like to remind you that they too are plenty talented. What a session for the Dolphins defense. Swarming is a good word.
I like that. See, that's a good Kyle Crabb's tweet, because you know what that's saying? It's hello, chill. Hello, chill.
Daniel Oyefusi says the entire defensive front today had its way, but Christian Wilkins, Zach Seiler, and Bradley Chubb led the effort. On multiple occasions, Wilkins had some profanity-laced words for the offensive sideline.
Leader being leader.
I like it. David Fournette said Christian Wilkins had one play where he bull rushed Austin Jackson onto Tua's throwing motion on an incomplete pass. He was dominating and let the offense hear about it loudly.
You know who else he was probably letting hear loudly? The accounting department.
Dolphins defense worked on their pressures and blitzes today. The pass rush was all over all the quarterbacks, double-digit sacks for the teams, led by Christian Wilkins, 3 from Duke Riley. Wilkins was chirping. Let's see here. Bobby Shaw says defensive could have easily showed up and folded today. Instead, they showed up and made a point. Love it.
Good tweet.
Clapping and aggressive.
Bobby and
Travis
Kyle.
Wingfield saying practice number 3 was moved inside due to lightning. I'll recap it on the pod tonight, but the early notes are pretty clear cut. The defense was dominant, and the defense was as dominant as I've ever seen, particularly getting after the quarterbacks. David Fournette said Dolphins' defense worked on pressures and blitzes on Friday, third practice. The pass rush was all over the quarterbacks, double-digit sacks from the team. Let me just look at a couple more, see if anything else is in here. Dolphins practice attendance, no Jalen Ramsey as expected. Jalen Phillips, Keon Crossan, and Freddie Swain all remain sidelined. Brandon Jones and Trill Williams were back. No team drills, though. And pup guys, Teron Armstead and Isaiah Wynn continued to work on the side of the field. Yeah, I think that sounds about right. Look, here's what I'm getting from all these notes today. Number one, defense killed it today, and I love that, especially coming off of the news of Jalen Ramsey. It makes me all the more excited about it. And it makes me and what it really hopes it makes me do, or makes the team do, is look at the quality of the offensive line and how bad or good they are, and maybe making a move before week 1 sometime during training camp, whether that be in the form of a trade, a free agent, or addressing the quality of the offensive line in some way. So look, we can look at it as bad things, or we can look at it as, look, our defense is going to be top 5, top 10 easy this year. And if our offense is struggling with this, we know that we're not facing as many teams with as good of a defense as we have. So, we should be able to tear them up, the rest of these mediocre defenses. So that's the way I look at it. And it's the third, and I'll also look at it as it's the third day of practice, right? So the offense not being great today, I'm not worried about it. It's the third day. That's where I'm at. All right, Crypto, anything else before I let you go, buddy?
No, man. Nice show, man. That's all I have for today, man. Hey, it's your fault, man.
What's my fault? What did I
bringing up all this commotion in the community?
I would never do such a thing. All right, hold on. I got one more. You ready? You ready?
Yeah.
What do dogs and phones have in common?
Dogs and phones?
Yep.
Something had to do with a bell.
Both have caller ID. I thought it was good. I love you, man. I'll see you later, brother.
All right.
Be well, Crypto. Have a great weekend. Fins up to you.
All right. Going once. We'll do, it's 11:30 or it's 12:31. We'll do 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes. Anybody wants to top this $80 donation by Mudbone? It looks like he's going to win unless somebody comes up and does 81.
Good total today.
It was a really good total today.
Really,
man.
very happy with
great
that,
day,
man.
man. Great day. You know, if somebody wants to donate at least $25, it will, you know, make us bring a 3-digit number to donating today, which I would like.
Brings another bonus card into the mix.
So, even if you don't get to the 80, you won't win, but you'll be raising money for a good cause. You know. So, yeah, and that, yeah. So come on, guys, let's do it, man. Let's do it.
How's your weekend plans looking? Oh, we got another caller.
All right, real quick. I'll do Lakers all day first. What's up, Lakers all day?
What's up, Steven? How you doing, man? Hey, this sucks about this Jalen Ramsey because you know, like we was gonna have a top 5 defense, you know, with our D line, with our line.
We still are, man. Have faith.
Okay. I got faith. You know, what I'm saying I like Cam. I like Cam Smith. You know, I really think you know he's a dog, and I feel like, you know, what I'm saying if Jalen Ramsey didn't really get hurt, right, we would have probably, you know, had him maybe at the slot. I know he's like kind of like 6. He's like 6 feet, but having him in the slot with Jalen Ramsey and X, that would be kind of cool.
That would be dope. I would agree with that.
You know,
I would agree with that.
But I mean, you know, I don't know about this freaking online coach because, you know what I'm saying, this online coach, right? He got fired from the Miami Hurricanes.
Butch Berry.
Yes, he got fired from there, and the O-line was trash. He was they were giving up sacks, and they fired him. And then after that, but before the Miami Hurricanes, he was, I think, at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and some other team, and then he got fired from there too. So, you know, we got to kind of like worry about the offensive line coach too, not just the O-line, it's the coach too.
Well, we're going to see, man. 9 offensive line coaches in 10 years. It's a revolving door, right? It sucks.
Mm-hmm.
It's been an Achilles heel of this franchise for 12, I mean, hell, I'll say 20 years as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you know, we've had a couple of bright spots here and there over the last 20 years, you know, but yeah, it definitely needs to be addressed. And I would agree with you, man. But Ramsey's going to be fine. As far as like, if it's 6 to 8 weeks, there's chance he's back week 1. If it's 6 to 8 weeks, right? I don't think it'll be, but I think if it's 6 to 8 weeks, he'll be back by the home opener. If it ends up being a full tear, then he's back by December and he makes that run for us in December. And what a great addition that'll be at that point of year. So, you know, we got him for this run. We're good. We're going to be okay. We're going to do it, man.
Yeah, we're good.
We're good.
Yeah, we're okay. Hey, man, next man up. You know what I'm saying? Next man up. Gotta show what we have. And you know what I'm saying? Like, it's football. You know what I'm saying? Like, anything can happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, anybody can get hurt anytime, any day. So next man up. That's how we got to play. You know what I'm saying? We you know what I'm saying? We still love our defense. You know what I'm saying? And our team. You know, it's just that we can't be sad about this. Jalen Ramsey, you know, we just have to have the mindset of, you know what I'm saying, next man up, and like, you know what I'm saying, like, believe that we can still win these games. You know,
Omar Kelly said this today was not an O-line issue. It was an everyone issue. Play calling, quarterback, tight ends, wide receiver, running back. Everyone got their asses handed to them today on offense.
Or the defense was dominant. I mean, it depends on the narrative. All right, it all depends on the wording and the narrative to base on the stories that these guys want to spin. I mean, that really is how you want to spin. Because
yeah, but that's not good though, bro. You know what I'm saying?
it's not good. No, I hear you.
That's
But like,
bad.
well, so where is it coming from? You know, and again, I have some fun things with Omar. Other times I have some disagreements. You know, a lot of times there is a way you could spin something and a way you could spin it in a completely opposite way to create whatever narrative that you're trying to do. I wasn't there. I didn't see it. I don't know. But I guarantee you, if you read one person, another person, there could be varying narratives of what's going on.
We're ending it right now. Mudbone just donated 26. That's over $100 that Mudbone has donated to himself.
Mudbone. So Mudbone was donating for Batman?
Yep, Batman won the cards on behalf of Mudbone.
Mudbone, you send me your address. I'll send you a Dolphin pack of 10 Dolphin cards. A fun one for thank you.
And Batman send Jason.
Address.
Yep. Batman and Mudbone both send your address over to Mudbone.
And with the logistics, I'll get it out as soon as possible, guys. Probably
it might be a while because he's gone for the next week and a half.
As soon as possible, everyone.
Man, shout out to Mudbone. That's
well done,
awesome,
guys.
man. Hey,
Thank you,
Mudbone. Yeah, man. Shout out to Mudbone. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. It means a lot.
Great show today, Stephen D.
And yeah, man, it was an amazing show today. I'm mad that Lakers all day left before I could get out my joke for him. I had a joke.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I got one more.
All right, one more.
Why are fish so smart? Because they swim in schools.
Nice.
That's
Not
good.
bad. Not bad.
That's a good one.
Not bad.
Ended it on a high note today.
You did.
That's all I know.
You did. Take us home.
I just did a great joke. I'm gonna be like, I just want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for making these jokes funny for me today. You know, if it wasn't for Google and the internet, I don't know if I would have been able to make these jokes as funny as they were. I hope the fans out there really appreciate it. I love playing in front of these fans each and every day, and I'm just a big part of a wheel. That's
what's playing right now? The Titanic music's playing on you right now. Get off the stage. The light. You're getting the light.
The light. Oh, man. Final thought of the day, man.
Final thought of the day. Hey, listen. This is the kind of show I love. Positivity. Even in negativity, we find a way to enjoy ourselves and treat each other well, have fun debate, and raise some money for a good cause. So this is a A++ type of a day, and awesome way to start a really fun couple of days for me personally. And Stephen, I know I'm going to be keeping you in the loop here with my state line crossings and all that fun stuff coming up.
Maria will be getting a 3-digit donation. Just tell me where to send it, Maria, and I'll send it. It's not a lot, but it's 3 digits, so I like it.
It's money that is put into a place that
was
not
deal.
there a couple of hours ago. So
yeah, man, I love it, man. I tell people all the time, every little bit counts. So
hey, you know what? If 20 people did the same thing, it adds up.
Yep. If 20 people donated $1, that's $20.
Well, that is true.
You're getting it, man. Mudbone says, how do I reach you, Jason? Tell them where to get you.
Jason_Sarney on the Twitter. And if you need another Facebook, Jason Sarney. And Jason_Sarney at Yahoo is an email too.
Read that Batman thing.
Oh, thank you very much for that, man. Appreciate you as well.
Appreciate it, man. My final thought of the day is this. It's Spread Kindness Friday. There's a lot of negative in this world. There's a lot of hate in this world, and understand, a bit of kindness can stretch and go such a long way. You never know what somebody's going through. I'm very genuine when I talk about that. There's a lot of people in a lot of different communities that don't like each other. Here at Miami Sports Music, everyone here is accepted. There are people that don't like each other that get on the same panels and discuss, the greatest football team. But I truly do appreciate and love every single person in this community. It does not matter. I have relationships with people that are definitely against each other in this community, but I have relationships with them, personally, because I feel like they both bring something to the community and they both offer something. And I think everybody has something to show. in this community, and that's how I'm always going to carry myself. That's how I'm always going to be, and I'd like more people to carry it that way, because if you can be kind to one another and just hang out and reach each other by extending gratitude, by extending empathy and just relating to people, I mean, this world would be such a better place. So my Spread Kindness Friday homework for you guys is to just reach out and reach out to somebody. You never know what they're going through. You never know how alone they feel. Depression and anxiety is a real thing. I struggle with it every day. I take medicine for it. I go to therapy, all that stuff. Don't be afraid to do those things. Go to the right doctors, go to the, right therapist, all that stuff. It saves lives. If you feel like you're alone and you're not in a great place, always remember, there's a great, you can just call these 3 numbers, 988, suicide and crisis lifeline. And somebody's always going to be there for you. You always have somebody to talk to. And, I know I do not do a great job of calling people back or returning people's DMs, but please do me a favor. If you do say something, to me about that, I will respond. If you're reaching out for that, just try to, reach out to me multiple times. I will do my best to do it. I recently, let me just tell you real quick. I had a guy in the community who I respect. And I noticed on social media that person was not in a great place at all and was saying some stuff that was scaring me a little bit vaguely. And I reached out to him, didn't hear anything, reached out to some of closer friends that are friends with him. And, they felt the same way. And about a week later, I get a text from him, and it basically said, I was not in a great place. And the fact that you called, Steven, meant everything to me. It meant the world to me. And, I was just reaching out because I didn't like what he was saying as far as his mental just didn't sound great. So it made me realize I practice what I preach when I talk about this. Maybe it did save his life. Maybe it just saved him from being in a really, really dark place that day. You never know. So just reaching out to somebody is such a good thing, and it's needed, especially in this community. We know how we can get on each other and talk about each other, and just know that we are. When I say I love you, I really mean that. I'm not just saying it to be saying it. I love Crypto. I love Lewis. I love Cap for Life. I love Jason. I love Alex Dono. Solo D calling me, when goodness well, I'm on the show. I love all of them. And, and even if I'm not friends with you, I have respect for everybody, and I think that's what we all just need to have more on in life. So I'm not trying to get mushy on you guys or sentimental. I'm just trying to preach what I think needs to happen more in life. So that's my final thought of the day.
Hey man, I'm not going to add too much to it. I agree. I thought it was very eloquently said. A lot of people would kind of hear that years ago, and there was a stigma of mental health, and people would say that maybe people talking about their own problems would be a sign of weakness. I wholeheartedly disagree. I think a public stance on it and awareness of it is a sign of strength, and you've shown that, and you've directly helped me at times where I have had a little bit less strength than I would have wanted in this community. So thank you. You keep doing what you do. And for anyone out there that is experiencing anything remotely close to what Steven just talked about, you don't have to be afraid to bring it to a little bit of a public light, because it is something that I think really needs to be worked on universally. This, mental health and treating people kindly.
I agree. All right, Monday. Actually, this weekend, I don't know what I'm doing this weekend, man. I have no idea what I'm doing this weekend. I think that
was the best weekend sometimes.
Probably looking at houses in Mississippi this weekend, honestly. Just like on my phone and stuff.
Due diligence.
Yeah, it's a whole process in itself, looking for a house and stuff. It's crazy. So I will say that if I end up moving, there might be a break in the show for a couple of weeks.
We'll figure it out. We'll cross that bridge.
We'll cross that bridge when we get there, and I will do my best to have people fill in those mornings so that there's not a break for you, the fans.
We will figure it out.
We will figure out a way to make it good. So I love you guys. You guys are the best fans in the world. Monday, Lewis, Victory Monday. Be hanging out. Take you to the big news over the weekend, training camp, stuff like that. Next week, Jason will be in Miami, in South Florida. Go see Jason this weekend. If you're going to be at training camp, he'll be there all weekend. And
I come bringing gifts too.
Be bringing gifts too. Batman and Mudbone, get up with Jason.
Yes. Okay? Batman already hit me up. Batman,
right.
It will be out there for you, brother. Thank you.
I love you guys. You guys are the best fans in the world. We'll see you all next week on Clock Blockers, the #1 Miami fan morning show. Peace.
My intuition told me this. To trust the coach, he holds a gift. He knowing when to go with fit. So we knowing when to switch. This year we got the golden pick. Time to see what that